Welcome, I'm your Sloth. So today I'm gonna bring you Death Becomes You, a mystery visual novel. In here only says Death Becomes You, but on Steam page they put mystery visual novel to players know what it's about. So this game come out today on Steam. This a visual novel, like I was saying, and it's all passed on a magic university. And someone dies, and you need to investigate 4 students to know who was the killer. The problem is, like I always say on visual novels, there is always multiple endings, so it's gonna be hard to discover. There is 10 plus endings. Mostly are bad ends, meaning that maybe, like this is only my perspective, there is only 2 good endings. One that maybe is a good ending, and the other is the true ending, like the real murder. Of course, those students will say that it was you that murdered, and seems interesting. Like I say, always visual novels need to have a good story first. The story seems good artwork on Steam page. It shows good artwork. And always multiple endings, because like that the visual novels have replayability, and people continue play and not like okay a bit and say goodbye. No, like that plays always play it. The other thing that I always say for visual novels is that it's always good to have the longevity between 2 to 4 hours, like that the player can repeat again the game to see all the routes. So that's always my feedback for visual novels. So the developer and publisher is Quill Game Studios. So let's start here. So we have here save, skip, history, collection. Okay, Lyra. No matter what happens, this will be the end of us. With those words stuck in my head, I bounced between really wanting to see Lyra and being stubborn. She was right to be mad. I know this, but how do I break the silence that lasted a whole week? A silence that's created a guilt so strong that each time I close my eyes, I see how hurt she was. I miss her, so this is Lyra. But all I did was ask a simple question about a silly rumor. Why has it become so complicated? I'm forcefully connected to the Ivy mind, and I blink back the strange sensation. Even though I've used the campus HiveMind messaging system countless times, I still not used to tingle that creeps over my eyes. A message flashed across the black of my eyelids. Mentor reassignment approved. Further details will be provided as soon as they are finalized. Have a nice day. And then I'm out again. Cut off from the campus HiveMind with a new message stuck in my head like a bad song. I shoot up from my bed, my eyes sting mercilessly, and not just from the HiveMind pink. I can't believe she went through with it. She's getting rid of me? Lyra has been my mentor since I began at the academy. We had a little argument, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't irredeemable. We are still friends, aren't we? Oh, with the mouse wheel you can go back and forth. Look, you see? Okay, that's interesting. Yep, that's interesting. You can do like that. It's first time that I see on a visual novel you can do that. Okay. So my stubbornness is a lot easier to tame. My eyes flutter, spelling out my thoughts. A sharp pain connects me to her, and off it goes. I see it with my name. So I'm gonna let the name how it is. It's Sydney that is in there, so we press start. I'm sorry, can we talk? Please, Sydney. Not gonna change the names because it's better always to let the names in there. Of course you can change if you want, but I always prefer let the names that the developer shows. I wish the message didn't sound so desperate, but honestly I am. She's my friend, that's why I asked about the rumors. It's because I don't want to believe them, but she had laughed at me in response. Then she got quiet. Like that, now we have our name in here, Sydney. I will never see Lyra so tense before. She floats around the campus with a smile on her face, and people flock to be her friends. The way that I did. The way I was. I was proud to be her friend. I still am. I'm grateful that she chose to guide me through what could have been a really tough first year. Lyra always says that unless your mentor is willing to devote every waking moment to you, you will never survive the first year. Lyra is that kind of mentor, so dedicated to me that it was hard not to become as close as we did. She is the force I need to keep going on the worst of days. Okay, let's talk. My heart bugs and hope spurs me forward. I tug my shoes on and stumble out the door. I don't realize how late it is until the cold air smacks me in the face. Maybe I should get a jacket, but I want to see Lyra. I run towards the quiet side of campus where the mentors live. I want to sort this out and to be her mentee again. I want to hear her voice. Ha 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 ha. Voice? I look around, but it's so late, not even a stray is out. I definitely hear something. I walk close to where the sounds are coming from. Whoa, that's cool. You have got to be kidding me. Is this all you wanted to say? So we can see Lyra is talking with someone? Lyra, it's her voice. I start running again before I can think about it. That's cool, like dividing the image. That's amazing. You were quick, I'll give you that, but not quick enough. She's coming to get you. Lyra's voice cuts through the sounds from the balcony above. Her melodic laughter sounds different than usual to me, but I know it's her. There's no doubt that it's her voice. There is a bite to it I've never heard before, but there will be a reason for it, like there's a reason for the rumors. We can't talk and I know there will be a reason. People are just jealous of her. We can definitely sort these things out. From behind me, a thud, a crack, a hollow squelch. My heart plunged into the walls of my stomach. I'm close to panicking before I even turn around, imagining the worst, hoping for the best. Seeing the worst. Lyra? Her bones just out of her flesh at unnatural angles. Blood! Why is there so much blood? The pool of red seeps outward, as if making its way towards me. I force myself to step forward to get closer to her. Get up! Please get up, Lyra! I can't get any closer, no matter how much I want to be there for Lyra. I can't. Lyra! You can see even the face, like the tears going through her face. That's good too, like shows that it's not like a face stopper there. It shows the emotions. Okay, very nice. Get away from her. I'm sorry, The steward drags me back by my shirt collar, holding me there as she inspects every inch of me. Miss Daniella, What did you just say? Sorry? So, Daniella this is. I nod. Her gaze sucks coherent thought out of me. I don't even know what I'm sorry for, but I am. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. Tears drip down my face. I want to tell Lyra that I'm sorry. I want her to know how I feel. If I say it enough times, will that make all of these go away? Save your sorries for someone who can use them. She let go of me like she'll touch something dirty. I flinch away from her, my numb body stumbling back. I scuttle backwards, my hands slipping in blood. I scream, the sound of pierces my throat until I am out of breath. A hand, unfazed by streaks my fingers paint on her sleeve cuff, helps me up. What happened here, Sydney? You know me? Yes, I know you. You are Lyra's mentee. You don't know me, I suppose. My panic ebbs and flows each time I blink. I don't know what spell she's using, if she's casting magic at all, but I want to feel calm, so I stare deeply into her glowing green eyes. I'm Apolline. Lyra might have mentioned me, maybe not a lot, but enough that my name rings a bell. No, she never did, I'm sorry. No, don't be. That does sound like Lyra. She laughs, but no joy glitters in her green eyes. As calm as I feel, I know this person is manipulating me with some enchantment. Don't forget this is on a magic university, so that's why they talk about magic. I shouldn't be this calm, not while Lyra is over there. I pull away from Apolline and the panic eats me again. She was doing something to me. This is why Lyra never mentioned Apolline. Lyra will never let someone control me like that. Not when I'm only a first year and can't defend myself. Did I offend you? No, yes, I... Two students run towards the scene, hand in hand. When they catch my eye, they stop suddenly. Who are they? Oh dear, and I thought Free was a crowd, not a coward, a crowd. The purple-haired student glares at me and stands before the blonde as if shielding her. Okay. We came as soon as we heard. The screams, we heard screams. Is she alive? No, Sidney made sure of that. Me? Daniella's eyes never meet mine, but she cuts everyone else down with a glare. The blonde shrinks behind the purple-haired student and Apolline shuffles away from me. You found her. Was that only a coincidence? Yes, How did you do it? Daniella, what are you... You heard her. She keeps saying she's sorry. What are you so sorry about? I didn't do this. Why you would apologize for stuff you didn't do? You can't do this, Daniella. This is murder. I didn't do this. Why should we believe you? My head snaps to the sore-faced student, who won't even look at me. Her eyes never leave Daniella's. I'm her friend. I'll never do this to her. I look to the one person who might have my back, but Apolline is also looking to Daniella. My last hope dies. Maybe it is a little suspicious. Please, I didn't do anything. Please believe me. Let's hope the authorities believe you. No, we can't. Sophie, we can't. So, Sophie? Do we have any other choice? Alice? And Alice, okay. Now we know every name. Sophie, ignore her. It's not your choice to make, Alice. Apolline, call the administrators. They can sort this out. Apolline looked at me with a weak smile. If you are innocent, Sidney, then it will be fine. They will find out what really happened. I want to agree, but what if they come to the same conclusion? What if they take the easiest course of action and blame me for it? No. No? But why worry if you are innocent? They all stare at me. I am, but I'm alone. None of these people will help me. None of these people will go out on a limb for me. The way my eyes catch Lyra's knee, wrenched back at a unnatural angle. She's the only person I have. I didn't do this, but I'm scared. I feel a small hand touch mine. Alice, the blonde-haired student, holds my hand and smiles at me with all the radiance of a spring morning. We will help you, Sidney. I don't believe that. But who else can I trust now? That smile might only be to sweeten the lies. We won't let anything bad happen to you. Then it's decided. Sophie, come with me. We need to move Lyra before this becomes bigger than us. What about us? Didn't you just promise to take care of Sidney? You and Apolline can see that she gets back to her dorm safely. So they go. As we walk away, I take one last look at Lyra. Daniella turns Lyra's face away from me, revealing the hole in back of her skull. Damn! Sophie presses her hand against it. What they are doing to her? Neither of them flinch as they lift, blood dripping and broken limbs dragging along behind them. My gut grips onto my super and I hope it stays there. As I walk away with Alice and Apolline, I hate the relief I feel knowing I'm all away from Lyra's corpse. I was dying to see Lyra, but now that she's dead, I can't wait to get away. Hey, I'm Alice, but you probably already caught that. I know she's trying to make me feel better, so I go along with it. Hoping any talking is better than this guilt. I'm Sidney. I'm glad that it's harder to think about Lyra while I'm talking to Alice, because I'll scream again if I do. Nice to meet you, Sidney. I force on a smile as bright as Alice, while Lyra bleeds. Nice to meet you too. And you already met Apolline. She's a mentor for elemental magic. Lucky for her, that's my major, so she gets to see me all the time. Okay, so both of them know each other and meet. They are always together almost the time because it's a mentor of elemental magic. Okay. I would if you ever show up to lectures. Okay. So she doesn't appear a lot, now we know. Guilty. Alice and Apolline both seem like the type that smile a lot, which is almost infectious. But it's not enough for me to shake the gloom that's gripping me. You are a first year, right, Sydney? You'll be picking a major soon. You got any ideas what you'll be? No, it's a big decision. The biggest. Having a mentor makes it easier to choose. It would if they weren't such egoists. Not you, Apolline, you are wonderful. Thank you, Alice. My mentor wasn't like that either. No, who's your mentor? Lyra, or it used to be. Oh, she had me reassigned, so technically she's not my mentor anymore. That sounds a lot like her. That's the second time Apolline has said how something sounds like what Lyra would go. Is she rubbing in how well she knew Lyra? That's not true. Well, she usually doesn't last a semester with a mentee. She must have liked you. It's like I say, we were friends. Can I really sound so smug about it when she dropped me too? Apolline is watching me and I get the feeling she's thinking the same thing. Friends, huh? Lyra having friends seems odd. There's nothing odd about it. We will still be friends now if I didn't ask her stupid question about stupid rumors. She might even be alive now if I had kept my big mouth shut. I wasn't a good friend. I should have believed her, no question asked. If I had, she might. Tears shook me and I shut up. I brought back the elephant in the room. I need to stop being such a coward. You don't need to do that to be a good friend, Sydney. Do what? Blame yourself. It's as useful as punching yourself in the face. It just hurts. I laugh a little, weakly, and just as quick stop, I scrub away the tears with my sleeve. I can't think like that. It is my fault. The truth is, Lyra does what she wants to and has a talent for making you think you have some sort of control over it. You shouldn't take on more than your fair share of responsibility. Some people don't need a reason to make a bad choice, and letting you go is one of Lyra's bad choices. Maybe it was a good choice, for you at least. I'll put it another way. Lyra doesn't make good choices, but rash ones. Unless Daniella is there to hold her hand, she's just a chaotic whirl of desires and passions. I don't think letting me go is one of them though. I hurt her. Shut up, Sydney, before you say something you regret. There was a rumor about her hurting one of her old mentees. It isn't true, right? That she was taking magic from them without them knowing. Huh, okay. I should stop talking. Why would these people be honest if Lyra couldn't be? I know it's not true. Lyra wouldn't. I was just... You were concerned, as you should be when you hear something nasty like that. It was a good thing you asked her about it, Sydney. When there's smoke, there is fire and all that. But Sydney doesn't need to dwell on these things. It's over now. Apolline's eyes look so empty and my gut twists. She's telling the truth. She's never lied once, but that's what worries me. She's too clever to be telling the whole truth. We first come to second year dormitory. Alice hovers by the door, taking a deep breath. I do want to make sure you are right, Sydney. Tonight was intense, so if you ever need a friend, my room is 686, okay? You should come and talk about whatever, whenever you want, okay? I'll like that, Alice, thank you. Alice pulls me into a hug. She smells like daisies and lavender. She moves her face so the heat of her mouth is against the crook of my neck. I will hate to know what I smell like after all this. Don't worry about Lyra, Sydney, she whispered to my skin, quietly enough to keep Apolline from hearing. She did it to herself. Huh? Alice pulls away, giving me a quick peck on the cheek before disappearing into the dormitory. I scrubbed the spot on my cheek that Alice had touched. I can't let her talk about Lyra like that. She knew what she was doing. Being nice to me to cloud my judgment, but her sweet exterior must be hiding something sinister. Too much sugar is sickly. Apolline and I continue on the first year's dorm in silence. Apolline watched me and doesn't hide it. She even boldly catches my eye when I look back at her. Did she hear what Alice said back then? I shiver at the thought. I will never have remotely considered what Alice had said. Lyra and I were about to talk it out and go back to be friends. Why would Lyra do that to herself? Don't go there, or I sniff back the tears, trying to hold it together. I can't start crying, not now. not until I get back to my own room. I don't believe that Lyra would have done something like that. Why would she invite me to meet up if she was planning to? Unless she wanted me to see it. She wanted me to know it was my fault. No, she didn't. Alice was lying. That makes more sense than Lyra. Lyra. Sydney? I walk faster. The dorm is in a view. I need to get there before I can deal with these thoughts. It's all my fault. These thoughts don't stop no matter how much I want them to. Maybe she did do this to herself and she wanted me to know it. What kind of friend will do that? My thoughts keep cycling, passing through the same points each time. Sydney? Lyra wasn't like that. She wouldn't do that to me. Alice, you're a liar. Sydney. I spin around and Apolline is holding out a tissue. I snatch it up and scrub the tears away. Alice was right. Tonight has been intense. Don't say a word, Sydney. Talk and it will all come out. Just hold it together. I nod. It helps to rat my brain enough as if it could disroot my cycling thoughts and help me not cry. I was wondering, does the first year dorm still have that broken coffee machine on the first floor lounge? Yeah, I think so. Why? I want a coffee, of course. Apolline holds the lounge door open for me, and I guess that's her way of saying she's seen me all the way here and to my room, just like Miss Daniella asked. It doesn't work, you know. But we are magic, remember? I perk up a little, wondering what kind of spell you could use on a coffee machine. Then, thud, thud, thud. Apolline slams her palm against the machine, and just like the magic, but not quite, the coffee machine spits out a cup, filling it with a sludgy brown liquid. Nothing like that, like it. Apolline hands me the cup. After a cautious few sips, it's hard to disagree. 2 long gulps soft the last knots of tension in my body. Apolline smiles expectantly at me when I hand the cup back. It hits the spot after such a stressful night. A little too well. I promise I haven't done anything to it, Sydney. That's not what I meant. Saying that, now I'm a little worried. Apolline is a mentor, so her spells go way beyond my own. And Apolline has already proven she would throw me under the bus if Danielle asked her to. What's to say if she's not doing that now? All I can do is trust her, but nothing about this situation is reassuring. If you need to talk, Sydney, I'm here too. I guess you also want to be my friend? I snort. How gullible do these people think I am? If you want me to, do you need another friend, Sydney? After what happened to my last friend, are you sure you'll want to do that? Maybe I'm a bad omen. I don't believe that's what happened, Sydney. Then why did you say that I seem suspicious back outside? We do need to be careful. Even if I don't think it's you, we can't rule anyone out yet. That doesn't explain Miss Daniella's accusations. Daniella knows what she's doing, and I'm sure she agrees with me that we can't rule anyone out. She probably has a plan to get to the bottom of this. None of that felt like it. Shut up before you say too much. Every part of me wants to trust Apolline, but I know that's the coffee talking. There's no way I'll be so willing to bear so much to this stranger, no matter how nice her eyes are. It could be a spell. Maybe that's why I suddenly felt calmer after looking into her eyes back outside. Cindy, we all need someone we can trust. Please don't be afraid to trust me. Maybe. I try to divert the conversation, the way Lyra will keep things light and fun, and stop us from talking about things that are too uncomfortable. You say Lyra talk about me all the time. If only I would know to change the topic. Last time Lyra spoke before it was too late. What will she say? She thought you were a very eager student, very agreeable and fun to be around. You say you were arguing? Did she say anything about it? I don't think so, but Lyra liked to keep a brave face. When you are special to so many people, you have to keep your image up. I don't think many people got to know her well because of it. She wasn't like that with me. I got to know her. She'll make you think that, but she knows how to adapt. Lyra knew she had to do that because whatever she was hiding is just too ugly a thing to forgive, no matter how special she is. I take the last swig of my coffee, trying to hide how uncomfortable her words have made me. I know Lyra like no one else does, even if Apolline thinks otherwise. I think we better call it a night, don't you? I nod. I promise to look out for you, Sydney, like a substitute mentor. Though you probably won't need me very much. Lyra said you are strong, resolute even. Me? She said that about me? All the time. She never said that direct to me. We are all here for you, Sydney. Having Daniella as a mentor won't be anything like what people say it is. She's very attentive and will steer you down the right path. Wait, Miss Daniella is going to be my new mentor? Don't be strange, Sydney. My office door is always open if you need an ear or tissue or coffee even. Eaten unlocked coffee. Apolline leaves. The beginning of a blustery night is silenced the moment the door closes on her. I'm alone again. Okay, you can say let's only see how it works to save. Okay. And now we go back pressing ask. Yep. Collection. Okay, so we can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 collection items. We have this double line. Coffee, cool manipulation, get people to do the right thing. We have, look at this, a lot of things that are locked for now, of course. And we have backgrounds. There is a lot of backgrounds, of course. Some are already unlocked because it's a place that you're gonna be in. Okay. Interesting, and those are locked because you need to see yet. Interesting for now. I put the finished coffee on my desk and lay back on my bed, staring up at the ceiling. Lyra, if I only hadn't doubted you. After what feels like hours, the tears finally slow down, but I can't seem to catch my breath. I smother my face with a pillow, hoping it will do the same for my thoughts. Everything remains so loud. I'm sorry. I ruined everything. Why aren't you here? I promised to be better if you could come back, Lyra. There are so many things I still want to do together. Why did I waste the last few days we could have had together? And now they'll never come back. Then silence as the panic burns out thoughts to a white-hot intensity and pressed down on my chest. It crushed me until I breathless and I screamed, sobbing pitiful tears into my pillow. I'm scared for my life, as scared as Lyra was when she fell. I'm crying all over again. I cry until I'm so tired my body shuts down and forces me to sleep. It's a dreamless sleep haunted by Lyra. My only friend in this whole world gone. Lyra, I'll make this right. There must be something I can do. Okay, we're gonna now try to discover who killed Lyra. 7 days later. A week has passed yet I can't say it. I can think about it in nicer terms, that Lyra's gone. She isn't here, I'm alone. I can't say that I'm alone, but admitting that I haven't got to that point, but I need to, because I can't keep this up much longer. I hold myself away, waiting for someone else to notice and to serve justice, because there is no way Lyra did this to herself. Whoever did it is still out there, but we don't know, because Lyra could kill herself because magic, right? Who knows? Maybe it's not a real Lyra, it could be a clone, or how you call it's bad to say clone, right? Could be like that. Who knows? I need to do something useful, but I don't know what. I've been searching the campus I've mined, logging in religiously over the last week, looking for anything about her. Nothing's different. Even though she's gone, nothing has changed. What should I have changed? Everyone knew her and adored her and revered her, yet not a single person is talking about why she's not here. Turns out that no one but me cares about her. They can't have cared about her the same way I did. They were all fake friends. Lyra knew this. They cared as much as their jealousy would let them, but my friendship was real. Lyra wouldn't let me hang out with her other friends because she wanted us to be closer than that. What if it will be me? Lyra will care more. She will do more about it. I think back to that night and the students that had been there. The way this person had acted was strange. Okay, so we can now this what the mechanic is different. Like you choose, right? You can choose Danielle and Apolline, and like this, the branch, the roots that will exist will be different always. That will lead to different endings. That's what you need to be, and that's what caught my attention at the same time. The way that you can have different endings. The way this person had act was strange. They say that Daniella is always like that. Apolline, it was different. So I go for Apolline. Apolline keeps saying that what Lyra will do. It seems like she knew Lyra well, but how come Lyra never mentioned her to me? That's one thing too. If Lyra never mentioned about Apolline, how Apolline knew Lyra? Or they were saying that they were friends too. The way this person had acted was strange. So Sophie is like how we could say that Sophie acted strange if we never talked to her. And Alice, she was too friendly, but when she come closer to us, she said something different, like she was like evil, right? So I go for Alice. What did Alice mean by "we'll help you" before they took the body away? Lyra will want to know who did this to me. I need to do that for her too. Apolline and Alice seem suspicious to me, so these are the two persons that we're gonna investigate. I need to find out which one of them did it. If I don't, when people notice she's gone, how long will it be until fingers start to point in my direction? Until Daniella convinced them it was me, just like she convinced the others? That's it, Miss Daniella is a lead. Whether it's her or not, I can't talk to her before I investigate Apolline and Alice even more, because that are choices that will go to different routines, to different ending. But those are the two characters that we're going to investigate more, like she's saying, and the other two we are not like investigate a lot because we didn't choose those two. Daniella was the first one to show up, and the first one to blame me. She'll touch the corpse like it was nothing. I won't be surprised if she's done something like this before. Perhaps I'm letting my instincts lead me, but they are the only thing I can go by right now. I'll get Miss Daniella to talk. I don't know how, but I'll figure it out. For Lyra's sake, I have to at least try. I get lost along the way to Daniella's office and I have to backtrack along the hallways a few times. I never realized how little I came to the matter office wing, and even fewer times I had to come alone without Lyra chaperoning. Lyra liked to keep her mentorship personal. Office felt like the opposite of that to her. I imagine someone like Daniella is the exact opposite. I'll never met her in person before last week, but you'll have to be stupid not to know her name and what she looks like. People pray they didn't get her as a mentor. Interesting. I lost touch with most of my cohort. I didn't need the distraction, but from what I could tell, Daniella mentees spoke of her with the cold distance of a quacking underling. So nobody liked to have Daniella as a mentor. Interesting. After meeting her, I can see why. Her voice commands your attention whether you want to submit or not. Everyone at the seat blamed me just because Daniella suggested it. When I come to her door, I have to master my nerve and knock with the kind of authority she will respect. I can't show weakness. Lyra told me that much. With people like Daniella, you either stand tall or back. I wait. Silence comes from the other side, but I check her office hours and she should be here. I move to knock again, but the door suddenly opens. Office hours finished 3 minutes ago. Come back tomorrow. Dara might be shorter than me, but her glare makes me feel even smaller. She looks at her watch with pursed lips before slowly shutting the door on me again. Wait! I push her against the door and it gives away far easier than I thought. Danielle's face shows shock and then an embarrassed anger. I need to speak to you. Then you should have been punctual. Don't waste any more of my time. She pushed hard against the door, but it's becoming embarrassingly clear that she doesn't have the physical strength to best me. I want to know Sophie about that night. Don't you know enough already? I want to know about her body. What did you do with it? Danielle released her hold on the door. I assume that's the only invitation I'm going to get and walk in. Danielle waves away stacks of books back onto the shelf, clearing a chair for me to sit. On her desk is a strange bird. By the smell that clings to the room, it's been long dead. Why she has a dead bird? I run a hand along it from the top of its downy head to the strangely smooth, glass-like spread of wings. Crystal taxidermy. It takes a lot of patience and time, both of which you are taking. It's beautiful. Danielle clicks her tongue. She seems to not like being ignored. You are a transmutation mentor, right? That's what my specialization is. Transmutation is that can transform into something, right? Like can transform into an animal like that, right? Is this part of it? A small part. Is more a hobby than anything of use. She doesn't stop me, but she watches me like a bird of prey, ready to jump in should I do something wrong. This is not the corpse you want to discuss, Sydney. Can we get back on topic? I'm not pulling away, but there is something mesmerizing about the bird corpse's smooth transition from flesh and feathers to crystal. Lyra. A thought pops into my head and I feel instantly sick. I've been admiring something that could so easily be Lyra. Please don't let your wild fantasy get better of you, Sydney. Danielle snorts amusedly, catching on to my train of thought before I will come to my own conclusion. My wide eyes and pale face must have given it away. I don't know what you did with Lyra. You could have done anything to her. And I'm an idiot for letting that happen. You're right, I could laugh. Her snorting laugh breaks into a crannish giggle that doesn't suit her. It sounds flirtatious until Daniella's hard expression reveals it as an accident. She takes the sculpture from the table and turns it to a row of birds and animals, all half petrifying cast in crystal. Interesting. Crystal taxidermy has always been such a jovial hobby, but recent studies have identified a particular use for it. This touch verge on the edge of less agreeable magic. However, my research has been helpful for now, but it was not in vain. I try to interject, but she leaves no pause large enough, purposely pushing the conversation away from Lyra. Turning flesh to crystal allows you to see every fault in that being. With the appropriate cutting and allied of chevrons, pebbles and points, one can fragment the light perfect and cause these figures to glow anew, like life itself still resides in them. I tell you this because if I had done this to Lyra, it would have been a sculpture nothing short of sublime. You thought about it? I yell, feeling sick. Obviously, imagine Sydney. I could have preserved her body in a way that would accentuate every line of her physique. I could have perfected the density of the crystal to susurrate when I run my hand along her cheek. It would sound much like her laugh, that constant empty ring. Suddenly, she reins in her demeanor from her increasing unhindered rounds. But I didn't. We deal with our body respectfully. I hope that puts your mind at ease. It doesn't. Well, that sounds like your problem to solve. I have been honest with you, too honest for my liking. When people tell you they are being honest, the irony of it is an insult. Daniella, more than anyone I've met before, makes me feel that irony because I don't know where the lies is. I want to know where she is. She's safe, Sydney. Daniella stands over me and I fear pushing for an answer will have no effect on her. Okay, I believe you. With that win, Daniella returns to her seat. With my loss, I stand to leave. Our conversation is not done. You will be my mentee starting tomorrow, and I believe we have things to discuss in that regard. I sit down once again, but I want to leave now more than ever. I'll be being too smug just because I forced my way in, but Daniella has all the power here. You have been missing your lectures. Why? I thought the reason was obvious. Too obvious. Try and make it less obvious. Attend class, see your friends, and let your life go back to normal. You will need to catch up on your studies, of course. Have your friends send you their notes? That will be good enough start. You do have friends, don't you? I want to answer with my pride, but that will belittle the memory of Lyra. Lyra was my friend. Your only friend? My silence tells Danielle all she needs to know, and the hard light that is her mouth softens. Why do I need other friends? Because now you are all alone, and you can't even leave your room. Maybe part of that was because of circumstance, but Lyra has not made it easy for you to move on. I don't want to move on. I will never forget Lyra. Forgetting is a part of healing. Refocus your attention on things that grant life, not suck it out like a parasite. Lyra was not a parasite. I agree, but those who call her a friend are. Lyra becomes everything to you so easily, and you take from her more than you can ever hope to pay back. Isn't Daniella being oddly specific? Or she's trying to get under my skin with accusations? We weren't like that. What did Lyra get from being close to you that no one else could give? I racked my brain, wanting there to be something significant enough to prove her wrong. I can't think of anything on the spot like this. You see, you are just like a parasite, Sydney. The moment Lyra plugs you off, your whole world shrivels into nothing. That's not productive. I need to move beyond that existence. Making new friends will be a step in the right direction. Danielle's words stink, and I hate that I didn't lie that I had friends apart from Lyra. Was I really such a burden on Lyra? Lyra would wanted me to lie and keep her memory dignified, not tainted with all these thoughts. Sophie, do you remember her? The one with purple hair? What about her? Ask her for her old lecture notes. She has penmanship like no other and is always very thorough. I think about rejecting her offer, but think Sophie might prove to be more fruitful than continue to be humiliated by Daniella. Daniella zones out, the yellowish glow of entering the hive mind emitting from her eyes. The glow flickers from left to right as she spells out her thoughts. She shakes her head violently with a sharp click of her tongue. What a cheap trick, locking her mind at a time like this. Lock your mind? You can do that? Sophie's special kind of student. Tom, if you were to apply yourself as she has, I do not see why you will not be able to. Okay, so Sophie is a special student. She can lock her mind like that, nobody can enter. Okay, this is interesting. Let me only save. That's interesting to know about this. I have things to do now. Find Sophie yourself. Danielle turns her chair from me and I feel a tug at the back of my shirt pulling me towards the door. The door slams shut on my face and a deep thrum casts a protection spell across the whole thing. All this happens with seconds. If I had a second more, I could have pointed out one important fact I was missing. How do I know where Sophie even is? Yup, that's the issue. Where she is. Now we have to search. Well, look at this image. That's nice. Look at this. Clean. Nicely done. I tried to head towards the second year dorms. Without any help from Danielle, the only lead I have to find Sophie is through that other student, Alice. I never thought I would find any use for her dorm room. Maybe she can see the future? I knock on Alice's door with little hope this will lead anywhere. It's the middle of the day and most people are locked away in lecture halls and classrooms. I knew this would be a waste of time. Lyra was always only dependable thing about this place. She was always there when I need her and even before I need her. I could trust her to steer me away from things that just weren't worth my time. Like this. This isn't worth my time. Sydney? What to do for Alice's hair and bare shoulders lean out of the doorway. She ushers me forward with a wave of her hand and my stomach knots to imagine what I will see if I accidentally get too close. I was hoping you would show up even. Oh! Alice let out a kittenish yawn, retreating back out of view. Sorry about that, come in. Yo! Alice is caught in a twisted shape of shrugging her blazer on and yawning, all the while her hair is being blown dry by magical gusts of winds. Whoa! Sorry, I had a bit of a long night. It's hard to sleep these days. Because of Lyra? Because of Sophie, actually. Oh, I didn't know you two were... We're just friends, Sydney. I can't even imagine No, that will be so weird. Sophie is my best friend. I will be scared to ruin that. I feel my face flush by assumptions called out. If I will be more careful with how I treat Lyra, I won't even be here. She'll be crashing my dorm too, and being holed up inside wouldn't look so weird. I won't have to fake being nice to this second year. I'm happy you finally took me up on my offer. I was telling Sophie about how we should get to know you better. Do you know where she is? Sophie? No, but I have tracking spell for lost things. Will that be helpful? I'll search under her pillow, her hand hitching in more deeply than it should. I step close to see a small portal vorticing beneath her pillow. You have used a spell like this before, right? No, why should I? I would have thought. She trails off, leaning deep into the vortex. I look away, seeing too much of what is underneath Alice's skirt. She probably knows. Lyra hated how I always gave people the benefit of the doubt. How I thought situations like this were probably an accident. I never realized how manipulative people could be until Lyra taught me all about it. Lyra would say that cute girls use the worst kind of tactics that are laughably degrading to everyone in the room. Not that Alice will get anything out of charming me, though. I'm thinking too much. Obviously these things will only happen to Lyra. Alice could be putting up a mask so that I don't suspect her of knowing anything about Lyra's murder. Not there, huh? Alice rushed across the room to look in her several drawers full of herbs and spelled ingredients. Thought. Thought what? Alice looks around the room, biting her lip. Have you seen a green... Ha! I see it. She leaps up and with the upthrust of wind magic, it's probably high enough to grab hold as green sachet. So she uses wind magic, like to lift her up, right? And at the same time she uses a vortex. Interesting. My whole face reddens. That kind of magic should never be done when you are wearing a skirt. So it's like she uses a vortex magic to grab something from other place, but at the same time she uses the wind magic to as a tactic to show like low skirt like that to attract people. Interesting. Got it. I just want to see the order. Alice throws me a cup of sach of green sand. I never used elementals in this way before. I'm starting to see why Lyra didn't like this kind of magic. It looks so borderline simple, yet I have no idea how to use it. Magic that could undermine her expertise that much will never have sat well with Lyra. How do I use it? I see, you are trying to prove I'm not silly by pretending not to know. I'll play along then. Does she have to mock me like that? Why would I bother with herbal magic when I had such a great mentor like Lyra? When you think you are in general vicinity, sprinkles on the ground. It will lead you 100 steps in the direction of your lost thing. Is that it? Of course. You really didn't know how to use it. That's so strange. I never needed to before. Not even to find Lyra? She disappeared a lot from what I remember. Always somewhere she shouldn't be, never where you want her to be. Is that a rumor about her? I don't listen to rumors. Then why would you say that? She's probably lying and is one of the people who spread those awful rumors about Lyra in the first place. It's what Sophie always said, and she has enough proof. She'll disappear somewhere with Lyra for days, and then show up and sleep for hours. I thought since you were close to Lyra, maybe you noticed it too. Okay, so this is a good proof in here that Sophie and Lyra sometimes were together and would disappear for days. Okay. She can't even be with Lyra. She was always with me. I hate to ask her to leave because she'll say you were trying to get rid of her. No. The moment I respond, my mind instantly makes it a lie. Lyra did say that I was trying to get rid of her, but in a joking way. I never want her to feel that way, so I'll ask her to stay over to prove it. I was always trying to prove I want to be her friend, but Alice doesn't need to know that. I can't quite lie, but I can't bring myself to tell the truth either. Not quite. You didn't say no, so Lyra did guilt you by saying you were trying to get rid of her after all. Gah. Sophie said the same thing. She disappears, but I'm the one trying to get rid of her. If I were really trying to get rid of her, I would never made this spell in the first place. But I had to know who she was with for so long. It was always with Lyra. I'm sorry. You just want this silly spell, not all this extra baggage. Alice bags up a small portion of green spell for me. She has the most strained looking smile on her face. Were you jealous? Before I can stop to consider how that must have sounded, the question slips out. For once, Alice stays silent, despite being so talkative. For some reason, even though her smile is still plastered on her face, I feel that she's fuming. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have asked. Don't be. I was talking a lot of rubbish. Sophie and I have been in a really good place this past week. It's almost like old times when we were beyond the wall. Alice giggles but chokes on how hard she is trying to force it. Students of the academy refer to our time before the academy as beyond the wall. Does this mean that Alice and Sophie knew each other even before the academy? Sometimes things happen for the better, like this spell, for example. If I never made it to find Sophie, I would still be trapped in Wonderland. I'm always getting lost, and getting lost in Wonderland almost drove me mad. What do you mean? Sophie made me a special place to go and relax. She thought Wonderland was a cute way to refer to it. She created a place? Yahoo! Sophie says it's like a whole new dimension. Alice pulls me toward the closet. From a distance, there seems to be nothing abnormal about it, not even the telltale glow of a spell brewing behind. Inside the closet is a portal to a world as infinite as our own. I use it to go berry picking, press flowers, and sometimes take a nice long naps where no one can disturb me. The weather is always beautiful. I guess being a Wonderlander explorer is kind of like my hobby. That sounds like a really fun hobby. It was. I have to work up the course to start doing it again really soon. There's still so much to explore in there after all. Even after being trapped inside for months, I haven't explored a fraction of it yet. I don't know how it works exactly, but Sophie has a lot of control. She can change the weather there just by willing it. As we near the closet, I hear a rattle and the whistle of wind coming from beneath the door, and I gasp. Alice smirks proudly at my reaction. How can Sophie sustain something so large? The amount of magic that will take is exceptional. Sophie is exceptional and you shouldn't underestimate her, Sidney. There is nothing she can't do. Is this a threat? Why else would she tell me about this place if not to threaten me? Lyra always say to be suspicious of a smile, and Alice is grinning so weakly. She's implying that I will be locked away if I ever get on their bad side. Perhaps I need to be careful with my words around Alice from now on, and not ask more about Sophie and Lyra, even though I am so curious. Will not knowing the details protect me from this twinge of jealousy within myself? But if Sophie and Lyra were close, and Alice didn't like it, then maybe I have rising suspicion that Alice probably does have a motive to get rid of Lyra. There you go. I should probably get going. I still need to find Sophie and other things. Oh, okay. I thought you'd want to stay a little longer, but if you are going, do you mind doing me a little favor? I guess I don't mind. Do I have a choice? The closet door is still rattling, remind me how easy it will be to lock me away. This woman is the worst kind of person. I knew it. I get good feeling from you, Sidney. You are a good person. I don't know if I can say the same about her. Being with Alice makes me uncomfortable, and it's not just because of the creepy closet door. I don't have time to question her more on why she's being so nice to me when everyone else thinks I hurt Lyra, unless she knows exactly what happened. And if she has been jealous of Lyra, then Alice walks away from the door and it suddenly becomes still. While she's distracted rooting through her drawers again, I try to open the door. The doorknob keeps spinning and nothing catches the mechanism inside. Magic doors don't work like normal doors. She whispers from behind, and I jump right out of my skin. I spin on my wheels, and she's not even left the air between us. her face so close to mine as she tiptoes up to my height with that stupid smirk on her face. The key to unlocking them is an invitation. The key to keep someone in them is a will. She's so scary. Look at her face. Like, my god. I'm too scared to ask what she means by a will, feeling the fire of embarrassment and dread simmer under my skin. Here, make sure Sophie gets this. Alice presses a vial into my hand and doesn't let go. An unpleasant concoction of chemicals and 4 inches wafts up off the bag. What is this? So we got a medicine. I want to pull my hand away, but Alice holds me tightly and her big green eyes stare so joyfully into mine that I can't get my body to do the right thing. Sophie has been out since the morning in the study halls. Working her mind so hard really takes it all toll after a while, so she'll be needing this soon. I know she doesn't need me worrying about her like this, because she's so amazing, you know? I do know, Lyra was the same. I will worry about her if she did might ping me because she always did. I will start to feel scared when she walked past me without saying a word because it might have meant I did something wrong. Sophie is real prodigy, but the amount of magic she uses is dangerous. I've tried to tell her, but I'm just a silly herbalist. Alice gripped tightly in mine, clutching the vial of blue liquid so tight that I worry it will snap in our hands at any moment. I'll never come close to Sophie's level, so anything she does seems scary to me, but this is different. Magic shouldn't put her in a trance for so long, and I wish she'll stop pushing her body so hard. Being put in a magical trance is dangerous, second year student or not. So you do understand. I tried telling Sophie the same thing, but she said that if Lyra said it was okay, she doesn't see the harm. Lyra taught her that? Lyra taught Sophie all kinds of spells. I know Sophie can do it, but they were so advanced. The kind you could lose your mind to if they went wrong. Sophie shouldn't be doing them, but she doesn't listen to me. So could you talk to her? Since you knew Lyra, maybe you could explain that she was wrong. If Lyra thought it was okay, then it's probably okay. I'm sure she had a reason for teaching Sophie those spells. How can you be so sure? Because Lyra takes really good care of those she mentors. If she thinks Sophie was able to handle those spells, then she is. You need to have more faith in your friend, like Lyra did. Like Lyra? Huh? If you say so. Alice pulls her hands away and casts her eyes to the floor. I have to go. Sure, I'm sorry I kept you this long. Bye, Sydney. So that's kind of strange already for me. That the way that like when we talk something like between Lyra and Sophie, she becomes like the her smile, right? Their face becomes like an evil face. So this the herbal medicine can we only be either pure or tainted. Okay. I'm glad to be out of there and on my way to finding Sophie. I have a bad feeling that something isn't right with Alice, but I can't say what. Her behavior could very well be related to Lyra's death. Both Alice and Sophie were there after all. I'm not smart enough to figure it out just yet, but maybe if I spend more time with them, one of them will let it slip. Is that what happened that night? This is how I'll make it up to Lyra for letting her down so much. I want to be the friend she deserves. What? What's that? A soft song that sounds like someone humming in my ear cuts through the noise of the campus. It's good, there is some voice acting for when it's like singing like that. It gets loud as I keep walking, and then just a sound disappears when I wander in the wrong direction. It can't be her. Lyra didn't sing. She was always too shy to do something she thought she was no good at. I've heard her in the shower before. The sound was always pitchy, but her voice alone was sweet enough to make a pretty sound. Sounds just like her, though. I follow the song into the woods, knowing something isn't right, but my hopes keep rising the closer I get and the louder the song becomes. Is she alive? Could she have faked the whole thing? But if she did, She would have told me, unless there was some reason she absolutely couldn't. If she isn't dead, if she could be alive, if... Sydney? Lyra? I thought I saw you. What are you doing out here? It's not Lyra. I try to blink back my tears, and when that doesn't work, I turn sharply away from Upline to wipe them with my sleeve. Upline looks away, pretending to give me the privacy I need. If she really cared, she would just leave. I suppose you were my Earth Song spell? So that's what it was. I'm not surprising that the thing I want most right now is for Lyra to be okay, but what a cruel trick to do. I hadn't meant for it to reach so far. There was a cast of falcons I was trying to lure in and attack. What's the point in that? The corners of Upline's mouth crack up, and I feel easily stupid for not keeping my mouth shut. Of course she's trying to bait me into a conversation. She's nosy and will waste no time reporting anything back to Daniella, no doubt. I like to see where the same one comes back. Don't birds always return to familiar spots? Not here. You rarely see the same thing twice in this place. Too many protection spells warding off bad omens, but I'm trying to see if there is a way to get around that. I want to prove that with a little faith, the things you take care of will come back to you without having it mean that something bad is going to happen. I don't like the idea that fortune always has a disaster at their heels. My face feels blotchy but dry enough that I can hazard a glance at Apolline. She's staring up at the clear blue sky, not a cloud or bird to see. I stare for too long and she catches my eye with a knowing smirk. Do you know how to get out of here? It's not too far back. You underestimate these woods. Students who think themselves fairies have booby-trapped it with crossings that warp space. Step through one of them and you'll be right back here in this clearing. It could take you hours before you make it out of this place if you are not careful of the crossings. Spotting cross isn't hard. In theory, no, but it does take practice. I saw Lyra never made you practice. I didn't need to. Then I will let you lead the way. I'll walk away in the direction I came from. I try to walk quickly ahead so Herbal can't follow so easily. With a few moments, she's gone and I'm by myself. I keep walking east towards the campus in a straight line. I spot 2 crossings and avoid them. Soon after, I start to see a figure in the distance. You almost had it, Sydney. You were following me? I haven't moved actually. I thought it would be the best to let you try before coming to find you later if you didn't make it back. Most crosses lead back here eventually. Want to try again? This is a waste of time. You sound like Lyra. Because she was right. Wasting my time on working out a maze does not make me better at magic. No, but it makes you more aware of magic around you. It protects you and keeps you from underestimating others by getting a better read. I think there was a first year lecture on it last week. Did you go? I was sick last week. I can't bring myself to say that. If it weren't for the bereavement leave, I would have lost it. I heard. That short sentence puts me immediately on edge. From who? Have they all been talking about me? Thinking up more ways they can pin it all on me? I guess it isn't so shocking that you heard my song after all. I assume most people will be in lectures, making it safe to use a heard song spell in public. But since you are in the habit of skipping class now, it all makes sense. I wasn't skipping class. I'm using a spell like that for something as stupid as bird tagging actually. Whatever it is, it's reckless use of magic. I won't call it reckless. It might not be what I expect to happen, but it worked out in the end. I've been worried about you, but I wasn't sure if you'll appreciate me getting involved at all. I won't have appreciated it, and I don't now. Hold my tongue and don't say it out loud because I might need a point to get out of these crossings. However, the only person I've ever needed is Lyra. I'm not changing that now, even if that means I'm alone. I'd rather be alone if that means I can stay loyal to Lyra and keep her memory alive. Follow me. Thankfully, Apolline doesn't push anymore and starts to lead me through the woods. As I'm about to walk through the meadow, she raises an arm to hold me back. All the clovers are 4 leaves. You need to keep an eye out for omens, Sydney. I get better at spotting the correct crossings and eventually lets me lead. We wind up back in the center 3 more times before we get the hang of it. I start to wonder about all the things I never practiced with Lyra. We studied and she taught me lots of theories, but we never did things like this. Lyra never let me make mistakes the way Apolline does. That's just because Lyra was a better teacher. She knew how to help me avoid mistakes before they happen. All Apolline has done is waste my time doing the same thing over and over again when she could have led me out already. You made a lot of progress, Sydney. At the rate you are picking things up, I could maybe start teaching you the heart song spell. I never learned an encounter before. How does it work? Maybe if I can learn this, I can be capable of spells that will make this pack of liars tell the truth. As you know, the heart song creates music that speaks from the heart. How it sounds is different to whoever hears it. What's difficult for beginners is learning how to open their heart with enough sincerity that their magic accepts the spell. Now I'm explaining the spell out loud. Maybe it was a reckless thing to do. I'm believing less and less this was all just a happy coincidence. She probably saw me and lured me to the woods with the spell. She probably wanted me trapped here with her to further interrogate me, like how she tagged along to my dorm room that night. Apolline laughs at their mistake as she told a hilarious joke. Goodness, Daniella will have chewed my ear off for such a mistake. Why does she look so happy about it? When you heard the Earth Song spell, what did it sound like? I heard Lyra. Sometimes it's an attractive thought to think that some things aren't really lost. Apolline nods as if she understands what I'm feeling, as if she could. There's no way she understands. She's just trying to win me over by appearing to be sympathetic. Let's carry on. We might even be able to get you back for your afternoon seminar. Apolline takes the lead, and with no time, we both exit the woods and back on the path to the campus. I was wondering, what do you hear in the heart song? If Apolline heard Lyra's voice as well, then Apolline might not be the person who did that to Lyra, assuming Apolline tells me the truth at all. I can't hear anything. My encounters have no effect on me or myself. If you teach me, you can find out then. Maybe, but there is no need. I know that all I want is always happiness. I don't need an encounter to tell me that. What a load of trash. I really can't trust her. You should put your happiness first. I will when you do. I always do. Then stop chasing after Lyra ghost and be happy, Sydney. Here, a good luck charm. Apolline tucks a feather into my pocket. Sparkly yellow dust falls from the leaves and rubs off onto my hands when I reach in and touch it. So I got feather. Another encountered item probably. This weirdo is up to no good. 2 large wings like a falcon sprout from her back. A sudden gust of wind pushed Apolline's body up into flight. Her right wing flaps quick in my direction as if to wave. Then she's gone, flying over the trees at a breakneck speed. So Apolline can fly. She grows wings on her and she can fly. I tear the feather from my pocket and throw it to the forest. I don't need luck and I don't need to be happy. Not without Lyra. I rip open one of the green sachets, letting loose a jade cloud of powder. I only have 100 steps, right? The cloud starts to drift away, following its direction. I stampede ahead towards the study hall to find Sophie. I walk for it to the study hall and I feel like I'm stuck in the forest again. I don't think I've ever been to this place by myself before. Lyra had always led me through the labyrinth of bookcases and steered me away from the small enclosures of students. She said this was the worst place to study. Ironically, most people do everything but study in this dreary place. When I'm deep enough in the rows of shelves, the misty green cloud starts to consolidate into itself, dripping onto the floor. Green footprints paved the path back in the direction I came from. I follow after it, feeling the once dry powder turn goopy and slick beneath my foot whenever I tread on it. I realize it's less like sand and more like paint that some reckless monster has dragged out through the house. And there it is, Sophie. Okay, let's save. Always save. Collection. Only to take out that door. There is the feather, a friend, and a good luck charm. It worked. Sophie turns away from her book, and her glowing yellow eyes. Yellow eyes? She doesn't have yellow eyes, it's blue. Stare back at me, dulling long enough to acknowledge me without breaking her trance. There is hollowness to her expression which frightens me, although I know it's nothing to worry about. Seeing Sophie like this now reminds me of how Lyra had looked at that night, her eyes wide open but drained of life. There was so much blood, an image I will never be able to scrub from my mind. I shudder, trying to shake it away, but that sick feeling grips my throat. A disgust that rocks me to my core, breaks all that I've worked hard to maintain, and my teeth cut into my lips. I clap my hand over my mouth, breathing deeply through my fingers, fighting against the choking fear. Face it. If I just face it, it won't be scary anymore. My eyes are glued shut, but the fear doesn't go away. I pinch at my face, trying to stay together, to not look so humanly afraid. Calm down, Sydney. Sit. I know it's Sophie's voice, but for a moment I want to imagine it's Lyra's. Sit. Drink a little bit because my voice. I want Lyra to be okay, so bad I will pretend everything was true if it will ease the pain and guilt. I squeeze my eyes shut and listen to the of the song from the forest. The freshest memory I have of her might be fake, but it's all I have. Holding on for dear life to the memory of Lyra's voice, I get my breathing. I open my eyes. Sophie's back in her trance. Who keeps her steady while someone is having a breakdown? Lyra will never have been so cold. I get shivers looking at Sophie's dead expression and try nudging her. Sophie's body moves stiffly and flops back into position with each nudge. I still transfixed on the magical runes in front of her. Some blank loose leaves are strewn on the desk along with some sort of canvas sheet. I have no choice but to sit and wait for Sophie to exit her trance. Sophie sighs dramatically, finally releases her mind from its trance. Whatever made her grunt in pain is satisfying enough punishment for the way she ignored me for so long. Rude people don't deserve pity. I think about the medicine in my pocket, but until I get what I plan to hang on it too. Just in case someone this rude might say no to a request to borrow notes. Lyra believes in never showing your hand first, and above all, always have a bargain chip. Did it work? Sophie speaks, looking at the blank canvas propped up against her book. Her brows sag in defeat before a cutting glare physically slices the canvas clear open again and again. I hastily bolt upright and push my chair back with a screech, putting this between me and Sophie's line of sight. Sophie flinched at the sound of my shared legs scraping against the wooden floor. She crouched her head between her palms and lays her head against the table. She mutters curse in the page of her book, no doubt cursing me for disturbing her studies. Are you okay? As if you care. She right, I don't, but I'm not heartless. Maybe I should just give her the medicine. Stupid canvas, stupid headache, stupid Lyra, stupid Sophie. If I didn't need Sophie's help, I would. I know what Lyra would have done. She would have slapped Sophie for insulting her like that. I'm the stupid one, not Lyra. Stupid me. The only thing I did was clench my fist. I should have done more. It's not Lyra's fault. You are bad at this. Sophie glares at me and press my lips together. I don't want to end up like that canvas. What use will I be to Lyra then? Everything is Lyra's fault. With that attitude, no wonder you can't do whatever it is. I look from the book to the canvas. not able to see the relationship between either. What is this? Sophie raised her hand and glanced over me, all over me. I can feel her gaze linger over on my exposed skin like a pervert. I instantly crossed my arms in front of myself, little else as that does. Mind painting. I was beseeching, amused, but they escaped. Sophie continues to shamelessly watch me even as I wriggle under her gaze. That seems like a waste of effort. Idiots use magic when they don't need to, especially for Sophie like chasing after pretty thing. True idiots talk about things they have no understanding of. Sophie grunts painfully. She turns away and hides in the darkness of book page. Her voice becomes muffled, but she insists on speaking either way. Mind painting requires you to look for where your mind draws you and to open your subconscious to the world. It's not chasing after pretty things, it's going deep into the darkness and saving the beauty. Saving? I guess that makes you some sort of glorified hero. I guess your mouth makes you a sarcastic nuisance. You... Sophie cuts me off as if she hadn't just snubbed me. So why were you looking for me? You say I was. The last thing I want is for this rude person to think I want to be here, even though I do need to be here. The green paint on your shoes, that's how you found me, I assume? So it's just paint? Of course it is. How else are you meant to paint your path towards the lost thing? What do you want? Notes. Miss Daniella said that I have to catch up on class, and that you are the person to see. I told her to stop sending people over. She knows memories are subjective, and I don't want some random strange walk around with mine. Memories? What do I even get out of helping you? Sophie breezes past my question, and I see her eyes home over my body again. What a creep. Does she think I will show her interest for some notes I don't even want? So these are the type of people that hang out in the study hall. I will never be able to thank Lyra enough for keeping me safe from perverts like Sophie. Your pocket, what's in there? I put my hand in the pocket to grip the vial tight, wondering if now is the right time to show her. I don't get a chance to make my own decision as Sophie pulls my hand out of my pocket, revealing the vial. So that's why I've been sensing Alice on you. She tries to take the vial, but I hold on tight to it. I still need the dots. I won't be able to concentrate if I don't have these first. Sophie has the look of a lizard in her eyes, the kind that so easily sprouts lies and slithers out of anything she promises. I don't trust you. After that night, how can any of them think I will be silly enough to trust them? What do you have to lose? I already lost Lyra. Whatever I have left isn't worth it, I suppose. I unclench my fist and Sophie takes the vial. She sprinkles the drop of it into her eyes and the throbbing in her temple like a maggot beneath her skin seems to disappear. This is worth 1,000 muses. She makes such a show of it that I feel like I should look away, but the way her full-lipped mouth hangs open makes my gut tighten and can't look away. She smirks, rubbing her eyes furiously before handing the vial back. I don't need it. Rather have it and not need it though. I take the vial, not wanting to draw out this unnecessary conversation any longer. For one, her constant staring will make me do anything to hurry this along. Good girl. Sophie laughs and I get that annoying gut feeling again. Why is she so insufferable? Sophie looks at her broken canvas. Now her headache is gone. Perhaps she can understand how pointless her tantrum was. There is never inspiration when you need it, but there is always a good Alice to remind you what's important. Even if I can't paint, at least I have Alice. I'll be a mess without her. I'm grateful for Alice, but with Lyra gone, there's so much that's gone, missing. I don't feel like myself. You feel it too, right? I don't feel anything like that. Oh, so nothing has changed? Nothing that has been taken from you that defines you and makes you special, all because Lyra went plop? Isn't losing my best friend enough? You are right, I'm sorry. She meant that, as far as I can tell. Sophie strokes the canvas and has a sad look. I overreacted. You are her mentee, so of course you aren't just being flippant by saying you don't feel anything. Once a lie, always a liar, but maybe she's not as rude as I thought. I think I understand what you said about not feeling like yourself. I sometimes find it hard to even remember what being myself is like. I get that. Although I say that Alice has kept me from feeling like a complete failure, the truth is, only Lyra could help me through my art blocks. Lyra let me into her mind, knowing how there could be serious consequences with that kind of magic. It's something only she would do. Lyra let Sophie do that? They could have lost their minds. Lyra never mentioned Sophie to me, even though Sophie was a previous mentee. So I wonder, am I sad that Lyra is gone, or I'm just mad that I can't create? Because I don't have Lyra in mind as a playground anymore? Does she realize how awful that sounds? Maybe Sophie's actually just as rude and selfish as I thought. Who's being flippant now? So, do you still want these notes? You'll give them to me? I said I would. She doesn't move, however, and she doesn't say a word. We sit in silence. I can't wait to leave, but I also want her notes. Sophie finally rips out a sheet of paper and licks the tip of her pencil. A long string of her speech stretches from her mouth like spider silk. The strand glitters and glows as the pencil comes to life, writing all by itself. That throbbing maggot-like tension in her temple begins to come alive again, pulsating with each stroke. What's happening? Mind notes. I use my memories to record lectures. Then this spell helps me to translate those memories. Whoa! Okay, that's amazing. So that's what she meant, my memories. Do you learn this in second year? I'm a special case, as Lyra put it. I learn more than I should, but without Lyra perhaps that will all stop. Maybe it's better that way. What else did Lyra teach you? My gut is twisting thinking back to all the studying I've done with Lyra, how she will skip over the things she found boring or condense whole chapter into a sentence. She never liked wasting time on small things, and she never taught me anything like this either. But she's done so much with Sophie. She taught me stuff we could do together, stuff I could do to other people. Why did she put it like that? She's making Lyra sound as big as a pervert as her. I still remember how Daniella I've mind being bounced back. Did she teach you to lock your minds? To the hive mind? No, she'll never shoot herself into foot like that. Why would that be bad? Lyra had a lot of control over her mind. No, she didn't. No one controls hive mind. They tell you this in orientation. You're right, but also very wrong. The hive mind is just a web of mind links. Each link is equal and is as if it connects to everyone. You can't control it. That's physically impossible. And you can't scream inside your own mind. No matter how much you try, it all sounds the same. Yet, inside that mind, Lyra's voice always managed to sound the loudest. Didn't you ever notice that? I think about it. But Lyra's voice will of course sound loudest to me. I was looking for it within that mind. When it wasn't her voice, I didn't care. I noticed it. So you were like everyone else. I think that others noticed too, but everyone follows her happily like rats following a Pied Piper, until Lyra screaming hurts. Her voice always sounded safe to me, not to me, so I learned how to cut myself off. I think that really pissed Lyra off. She would have used that to expel me if she didn't need me for her thesis. You are just a second year student. Like I said, I'm a special case. I taught Lyra as much as I learned from her. My stomach starts to hurt. All this nodding and twisting from talking about Lyra and about Sophie and Lyra will do that. I was special to her too. No matter how many times I repeat this to myself, the knots get tighter. What made you a special case? Me? Lyra only mentors people she sees potential in. I was an easy mark. I've been on school watch list for years. I didn't want to leave Alice beyond the wall though, so I waited until we both got accepted. Okay, so Sophie waited until Alice got accepted, but she was already on the watch lists. So I'm curious, what did she see in you? I don't know. It's a good thing Lyra has better taste in people than you do. What's that supposed to mean? It would be a shame for someone like you to waste their potential simply because they can't see it. I have potential? Didn't Lyra ever tell you that? She never shut up about all the amazing things she could see me succeeding in if I just pushed myself that a little bit more. She never said that to me. Then I guess you'll have just to trust she saw something. If not your magical ability, then She holds eye contact with me again, before raising her eyebrows as her glance plunged downward on me. The thread of spit snaps at the pencil, falls off the table. It lifeless once more. Look like they are done. Sophie folds the sheet before handing it to me. You can leave now. The tight knot in my gut finally snaps. I snatch the notes from Sophie and storm out of the study hall. My face feels hot and I hate how much I'm blushing. I don't dare look at the fight Sophie stare at my legs or the bareness of my throat. She's the worst. Okay, so we get the notes. Another item. It is mind notes. The art is dead. Long live the beholder. She's powerful, but definitely a pervert that Lyra had no business being with. What could someone like her teach Lyra? What did Lyra see in her that she didn't see in me? Interesting. For now, I don't see nobody like guilt of killing. For now, no, they don't show nothing yet. The moment I get through the door, I flop down on the bed. I think I might have pushed myself a little too much today. And for what? I haven't learned anything useful, and the person who did this to Lyra is still going on about their lives as if nothing had happened. And sooner or later this whole mess will be pinned on me. I can feel it. After getting to know Daniella, Pauline, Alice and Sophie, I know it has to be one of them, but I'm no closer to knowing who it was than when I first started. If Lyra ever saw potential in me, then it's not spotting the monster in the people. In fact, she's done all she could to protect me from such things. She will protect me from the harsh words of Daniella, the coy presumptions of Alice, the manipulative mollycoddling of Apolline, and the irritated perversions of Sophie. To imagine all of this happening under my nose, it's thanks to Lyra I was safe from it all. Daniella sent you a calendar invite for tomorrow at 10 a.m. Sydney has accepted and sent the response. She didn't want to see me before, and now she's suddenly so interested. Could this be about Lyra or just about my schoolwork? She's probably going to check that I went to get Sophie's note and didn't just crawl back into bed. I take out my notes, wanting to be prepared if Miss Danielle starts quizzing me on it during our meeting. I spend some time studying through the sheets of perfectly transcribed notes. Sophie's might record everything, even the intervals of the lectures, coughing, feeds. I turn over the last sheet of notes and the letters suddenly change. They become large scrawls, almost illegible in how they overlap. I make out the odd word or phrase, but none of it makes sense. Lock her, find. Give ba chase. Lock, away her. I'll keep her. That last one is the only thing I'm sure of. Either way, it all gives me a bad feeling about this. Who was Sophie thinking about? Is this about Lyra? These were Sophie's memories, but Danielle was the one that sent me to get them. Was she trying to tell me something? To threaten me? Alice was threatening me? Are they going to lock me in the Wonderland? I need to find the truth about Lyra that night. Who should I investigate? Okay. It's like Danielle tried to enter the memory of Sophie, but she couldn't. That's why she said, go find Sophie and she will give you notes. True. But then Sophie, like every class that she was, everything that is in her mind, she wrote with that spell. But the problem is, why there is like locker chase? Hard. I think it's like she remembered everything from the class on her memory and she passed through the notes. So she knows something. So I go for Sophie. Sophie is one of Lyra's former mentees too, but she seemed callous toward her relationship with Lyra. She was also so creepy, the way she kept watching me. She must have been looking for something, a weakness in me that she could use to catch me off my guard and do to me whatever it is she did to Lyra. I'll find Sophie and beat her at her own game. My meeting with Miss Daniella can wait. Tomorrow, I'll find Sophie's weakness and I'll use it to get her to tell me everything she knows about what happened to Lyra, no matter what. Because she was a mentee from Lyra, she remembers everything that she learned in class. She passed everything, her memories to the notes. So, meaning that she heard something. Someone talking about that. Of course, I'm not saying that Sophie that killed Lyra, but maybe she can remember who it was. That's why I'm going for her. I walk around following vague clues from other students. There is a split between those who seem in awe of Sophie and the others who seem angry the moment I mention her. It almost reminds me of polarizing opinions of Lyra. When the rumors of Lyra stealing magic from mentees had spread widely, Lyra stopped using the hive mind just to avoid hearing anything about it. She only wanted to hole up in my room, and we rarely leave unless we needed to. I could tell she felt hurt. So before I finally asked Lyra direct whether the rumors were true or not, I first asked a few of the second years for more details. A group of second years had started the rumor in first place, but I found that many students staunchly defend Lyra as well. At the time I didn't get anywhere but by asking second years. It was hard to know who was adding to the fire and who was simply fanning the smoke. The same can be said now. The vague consensus was Sophie was somewhere with picnic basket and a girl. Apparently it was nothing new. Sophie was always with a girl. We know about that she would disappear for days with Lyra, and that Alice never knew where she was, so she used that spell. The same girl shrugs all around. Some think so, some think not. All they know is that Sophie is always with a girl. Can be Alice or could be with Lyra. Eventually one of these clues puts me on the right path. I hear them before I see them, a dramatic raspy voice cutting through the silence along with a low hum. The second years mention that Sophie is always with the same girl. Of course, it's Alice. Look at design, see this design. It's amazing, like how it's done. Amazing, I like that. Removing her armor, Helga stood before her beautifully bow, exposing herself complete to her whims. Should the bind break, Mary's monstrosity of a tongue could do far worse to her than slither along her a muffled murmur breaks Sophie's reading as Alice holds a macaron to Sophie's mouth. Sophie chomps down on it, catching the tip of Alice's finger. The two laugh. A gentle lick makes Alice pull away before pressing her forehead against Sophie and chiding her jokingly. Am I going to interrupt something? But I've come this far, and they are not the easiest to find. Plus, they can't see me walking their way already, so I'm not catching them by surprise. You should be more careful next time. Oh, it's my fault. You have decided to beast again? Always, you bring out the worst in me. You are thinking of someone else, Sophie. I won't bring out your best. You're right. Want to hear more? Sophie turns the page. I'm not sure. It's getting a bit intense. It's the best part though, Alice. A full moon, a beastly curse that can't be broken. All this time hiding it from the one you love most. You can't tell me that doesn't move you. If you really have to. Sophie settles back into her story. There's a silence as she finds her place and picks up where she left off. Alice doesn't seem to be listening and fills with Sophie's purple bangs. This field is larger than it looks. It's taken me forever to reach them, but I swear they should have seen me from ages ago. Mary's eyes shone with an ancient anger, vacillate between her humanity and satisfying the call of her curse. Bloodlust and little lust marvel in her heart of her desire for. Alice threats and moves her fingers through Sophie's hair. Sophie stops reading, waiting with her mouth open for another treat. Alice bites off half, on the other half is dropped into Sophie's waiting mouth. Alice starts it at the purple tress in her hands I'm certain that the intense parts of the story Alice could play about were completely ignored. She seems to be so turned out from Sophie's story that I'm surprised when she suddenly looks up and catches my eyes. Oh, I promise you, Alice, you won't want to miss the next part, trust me. Oh yes, it was getting a bit, but that wasn't what I meant. Huh? I mean, oh, as in, oh, it's Sydney, hehe. Alice points at me. Sophie sits up burglary with a sore look on her face that only worsens when she sees me. Alice waves me over. As if in response, Sophie throws herself back down on Alice's lap with a sulky of hiding her face behind the book. I walk towards them, realizing how far I am from school and how silly it must look for me to be here accident. I mutter some lies together, but nothing convincing is created, and I hope that of them care enough to question me about it. What are you doing all the way out here? Shoot, just on a walk. Liar. Sophie growls loudly enough for me to hear, but just quietly enough for it to seem like an accident. Alice pokes Sophie's side, not letting her get away with it. She is lying, Alice. Sophie sulks, twisting her body away from me and deeper into Alice's lap. Alice follows my gaze to Sophie's hand tucked beneath her tight and, as close as she can, removes it. Sophie finds a new place for it tucked beneath her, the plaits of Alice's skirt. She's joking with you, Sidney. Come, sit with us. I look at Sophie, expect more fight, but she reads her book silently. I'm glad to see you again, Sidney. Me too. Sophie glares at me through the corner of her eyes, gripping Alice's skirt before returning to her book again. Do you want something to eat? Alice holds out a plate of pastries. I take a cream bun and she takes one of the macarons. I pretend to be very absorbed in eating the cream bun, knowing this is some sort of civil distraction. Sophie bites her lip and for once says nothing. Is she embarrassed because I'm here? The level of PDA from Sophie doesn't lessen though. It probably would have gotten worse if Alice's coldness didn't stop her. We sit together, nibbling our pastries. Alice smiles at both Sophie and I, in turn purposely refusing to speak until one of us acknowledges the other. A silent war rages on, and I drown in the awkwardness of it. I have to say Sophie, otherwise what was the point in coming here? Still, I'm no detective and finding the right words to say isn't easy. It's even hard with all this pressure from Alice and the silent hostility from Sophie. What book are you reading? I crack and say something. I just hope it's enough to get Sophie to stop treating me like the unwanted third wheel I am. Lyra really never showed you the Inferno Insignia series? I've seen her read it, but I didn't know that it was about, maybe you weren't friends after all. What does a book have to do with that? Sophie means that Lyra really liked this series, and they found this book in her satchel when they got rid of the body. I blink back the shock at what Alice is implying. But isn't this what I want? Information? No matter what information it is, I should keep calm. Oh, she never mentioned the details to me. I must have been new. Nope, six book in series. She'll be reading it for a while, maybe even rereading it. We talk about lots of things. She might have mentioned it, I just forgot. If Lyra liked it, it must be a good book, with at least a well thought out plot and character arcs. She loves things that work on deeper level. What's it about? The whole series deals with complex curses, each more devastating than the last. Over time the curses have grown strong and no one has an idea how to control them because they kill everyone that knew. Now the world of Argnia is infested with the strongest and most vile of the curse, who vow to take revenge on them all. It's just an erotica, Sophie. No one reads those for the plot. It isn't. Were you even listen to the story, Alice? Were you, Alice? I did listen to the OK bits, but it's so graphic. Plus, if Lyra were reading it, I doubt it had any real deeper meaning to it. How do you know that if you weren't even listening? I listened to the parts I liked, but it got so boring just then. Can't you skip the boring parts? Boring? They were just about to express their carnal love for one another. How is that boring? It's boring. Those kind of scenes all sound the same. It's like the author wrote it just to show off. That's boring. They should show off. They are amazing writer. The book should be called The Self-Gratification of Egotists instead. That doesn't really make sense as a name for a novel. Neither Alice or Sophie seem to notice me at all. The author was trying to convey our shared experience of knowing how easy it is to forget and even kill the people and experience that have helped us grow the most. I still don't like it. It's a good book, Alice. Maybe, but you can write better things than that toilet paper, something with a real meaning. And what if I can't? You have before and you can again. You just have to be patient and think of this as an art break, not an art block. Neither sound titillating. Sorry, Your Highness, not everything has to be romps and parties. You need to learn to slow down, take things from what they are, and stop wishing they were something else. Is this turning into an argument? I look at two of them, wondering if I should leave, but their voice aren't so raised as to cause alarm either. Rather, it's the tone and sarcastic choice of words that do. What if I want to have everything without needing to slow down? What if the fool is the one who settles for half and the hero the one that risks it all for their lion's share? And what if Lyra hadn't turned you into a pretentious pervert who only reads smut? You might have got out of this heartbreak a lot sooner. Pervert? Lyra wasn't like that at all. Finally, I speak up. It's not like I had much leeway to cut into their increasingly snarky conversation. Maybe I read her wrong. Just that she always had this look on her face like she wanted to eat you alive. Alice laughs, tickling Sophie's sides. Sophie kicks and snorts, trying to fight Alice off, but so weakly. Tickles become carelessly as belly laugh die on down to giggle and snickers. The two move closer, gazing at one another. Well, that didn't last long. The two collapse back into each other, embrace just as I saw when I approached before Alice put an end to the excess amount of PDA. Can't they get a room or something? And didn't Alice say they were just friends? Not confused at all. Not that it's my business, I don't care. I look away, never mind Alice's accusation of Lyra and pervertness. I feel like a pervert for just being here. Lyra and I were never like that, especially not in public. She liked it when I walk just a few paces behind in case I needed to leave. She was always thinking up solutions to help me. She would give me an escape route from social situations. She knew how shy I got when people rushed towards her. On the opposite end of the spectrum, there's this show. Hot and cold. And lost in their own little world with one another, as if I weren't even here. I had wondered if Alice had been purposefully seductive while I was in her room on the way to look for Sophie the other day. At the time I had chalked it up to me thinking too much due to remembering Lyra's warning about people like this. But seeing how close she is with Sophie, who is bound to perverted, it suddenly clicks how Alice is likely to be more similar to Sophie than not. Even if it's a different kind of weird, like two sides of a coin. On another note, what Alice said about Lyra is growling at me. You are saying Lyra would like she want to eat you alive, huh? This way is the pot calling the kettle back. Alice the pot and Lyra the kettle? The two couldn't be more different in this situation. Sophie strokes Alice's cheek, but the blonde comes to her sense and winces away from the touch. I agree. Lyra was an absolute beast of a woman with an appetite to match. Well, Alice can be similar to Lyra in some ways, but not in terms of appetite. Alice here has no appetite at all. When she does, she's more dormous than a pussycat. Alice sticks her tongue out to the other, but seems amused by the comparison. Sophie gnashes her teeth mockingly, but truly looked like she would eat Alice alive if she let her. Alice rolls her eyes and soft punched Sophie's cheek. I was always with Lyra and I didn't notice anything like that, the appetite you talk about. Sydney probably liked it then. Probably had a crush on her too. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize. No, we were friends. She definitely didn't see me that way. I'm not fully sure how much truth this statement holds, but in the moment, it's safer than say anything else. Oh, so she rejected you. Tough call. We weren't like that, okay? Lyra was like that with everyone. You had to have noticed the way she acted around people. Wasn't she always hanging off you, Sophie? All the kissing and hugging and sitting on your lap? You were her student. She should have known better. She never did things like that to me. Or maybe a little, I mean. There were times we cuddled in my bed when Lyra magic was weird. But definitely not to the extent Alice is saying. My chest tightens. Even though remembering those moments with Lyra should be happy and warm, why does it feel like I want to bolt away to shut the lid on these memories? I feel like what I want to slam the lid on and lock away is the knowledge of Lyra having done those things with Sophie, that she was so close with someone that other than me. I'm glad Lyra hasn't done things to you, Sidney. You see, Lyra has royally corrupted Sophie. Now I get that leg every time we have a picnic because of all the things Sophie was used to with Lyra. If you don't like it, I won't do it. I didn't say that. I want you to be comfortable and don't mind most of the times. I just wish you wouldn't expect these things when people are around. I don't want people to get the wrong idea about us or you. Alice turns away from Sophie and busies herself with pouring a cup of tea, avoiding both of our eyes. If you don't want me to touch you, then I won't. Alice gives a weak smile, her hand shaking and teapot lid rattling as she shrugs. Sophie nudged Alice in a way that is clear attention seeking. Alice balances thrown off for a moment, teapot teetering. Thankfully nothing spills. I can't make tea like this, Sophie. I'm not like her, Alice. Don't make me out to be like her, you have to know that. Then stop acting like her. Their voices are low, as if both of them are trying to hide their conversation from me in a stage whispers. Just when we are having a conversation, then they are in their own world again. Like before, it's still difficult to just up and leave. Not that they will care if I left. I'm trying, Alice. You know that I don't want to act like Lyra on purpose. It would be easy if I could write or paint or anything, but she's in my head, and it's been hard getting over this art block without her. I'll try hard, I promise, and then we'll be back to normal, won't we? Alice nods enthusiastically. Sophie squeezes her hand and happy to have finally said the right thing. Lemon or cream, Sidney? Huh? The two of them stare at me as if it was what looked like a lover's quarrel and just happened right before me. Alice waits paid for my answer, teacup in hand, and insipid smile slap in place. Lemon, please. Alice pours me the tea, and for once both of them sit in silence. It's not uncomfortable, however. Without the distress from Sophie and Alice, I have some time to mull over and what I've learned about them in relation to Lyra. I sip on tea intermittently, eating the tartness of it. The lemon unfortunately makes it so much worse. Thinking about Lyra and Sophie doesn't help either. I try to picture the two together, but Sophie is nothing like Lyra. The way Sophie had described them together feels wrong. She hugged me and liked the odd kiss when she was feeling really down, but it was nothing like what Sophie had made it out to be. Sidney probably liked it then, probably had a crush on her too. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize. Yes, I knew Lyra didn't see me that way, but what about me? I want to curl up and lie down, but only stop myself to avoid any questions from Sophie and Alice. Regardless, whenever I had reciprocated Lyra's affection, it was always of my own accord. Sophie was Lyra's mentee before me, and from what they say, Lyra taught Sophie so much more than what she taught me. So Lyra must have spent so much time with Sophie, probably more than she did with me. Now Alice is saying that Sophie and Lyra had that kind of relationship. I sighed my heart sinking. But maybe between Sophie and Lyra, Sophie was the one that initiated everything. That will explain if things were so much more escalated as Alice said. Sophie was only a first year when she was mentored by Lyra. Lyra couldn't have been so easily dominated by a younger student, but what other reason could there be for what happened between those two? If it even happened. I shouldn't take their word for it. They both have their reasons for making Lyra out of to be some pervert. For one, Sophie herself is a pervert with an ego. Lyra probably rejected her, with Sophie will certainly hold a grudge on. And even though Sophie initiates more PDA with Alice, Alice seems like the one more infatuated with Sophie than the other way around for some odd reason. She'll definitely side with Sophie if I disagree with anything. These two are totally disaster. I can't trust anything they say. There you are, Sophie. Sophie shrugs at a point, surprised tone. It's where I've been for the last 3 hours. Well, you are not the easy person to find, but I think you know that. I'm sorry to doubt my abilities at this moment. You are the second unwanted guest today. Everyone smiles in my direction, taking the whole picture. The three of us eating pastries and drinking tea might look nice and pleasant, but that's only on the surface. It's good to see you and out and about, Sydney. Being stuck inside for so long can't have been nice. I've been out. Apollo shrugs and get the feeling she knows I'm lying. Is she keeping tabs on me? I feel bad breaking you up your picnic, but Daniella needs to see you, Sophie. I just spoke to her last night. I'm not wasting another night going over the same spells. It's a dead end, and she'll be next dead body if she keeps trying. I've said the same, but without Lyra, you are the only person whose opinion she respects. She has messed up way of showing it. Just speak to her, Sophie. Fine, I need a walk anyway. Sophie goes to stand, but it is held in place by Alice. Her hand rests on Sophie's cheek, tucking her hair behind her ear to chew, whispering. Sophie breaks away with a part of Alice's head. Be back in a sec, bunny. Alice puffs her cheeks out and turns her back on the cheek kiss. Sophie blows her away. I look back and forth between Sophie and Alice. Finally, I don't need to look at their PDA. This is great. Apollo and Sophie take their leave. With Alice alone, I'm clearly annoyed at Sophie. It might be an opportunity to get her to open up to me. Alice seems to trust me more, but whatever Daniella wants from Sophie has to be something really important too. Who should I investigate? Okay, another thing to investigate them. It's like maybe Alice knows something about Sophie, like something that Sophie doesn't tell us. Right, because she was saying that Sophie and Lyra had like a special relation. So let's go for Alice. I decided to stay behind with Alice. I clear my throat, try to get Alice's attention back. Alice mumbles into her tea, holding it with a shaky hand to her mouth. After some moments, it clears she didn't hear me. Hey, Alice? She finally jumps out of her stupor and looks my way. You are still here? Yeah, shouldn't I be? No, I just thought usually when Sophie leaves, everyone else does. That sounds rough. You get used to it. We have been together for a long time after all. It's funny we are even friends thought, right? Sophie has the worst ego and loves a crowd, but I like it when it's just us. You sound like me. What Alice say echoes my feelings towards Lyra. Luckily enough, Lyra felt the same. She liked it to be just two of us rather than be with those huge mobs of people she always swamped by. I also to think she just said that to make me feel better. I hated all those crowds and parties and she seemed to love them. When we were together, she would rave about how excited it was being in the eye of the party. She knew what being in the spotlight was like, and yet she would always choose to be with me. I always knew how special I was to her because of that. Even if I ever acted ungrateful, Lyra will make a joke about going to a party or finding a new friend, but she never did. Not until I opened my big stupid mouth and ruined everything. I turned my attention from my thoughts back to Alice. What do you say about liking it when it's just like you and Sophie? I felt like way with me and Lyra. Lyra liked to go out to parties, but she liked when we hung out alone too. Yeah, Sophie told me about all of Lyra's insane parties. It makes sense that you prefer being with Lyra alone. The parties sound interesting, I guess, but also super seedy. Seedy? They were nothing like that, just a lot of fun. Did you ever go? No, Lyra didn't invite me to those kind of things. We all hung out in my room. Do you ever want to go? There were times I thought about it. I did ask once. Lyra said it wasn't my kind of party and I think I asked her again and she laughed about it because she couldn't imagine me liking it. It will be dull for me. So she didn't take you? Did Sophie take you? A couple of times. She will ask for days and when I finally gave in, I will regret. I hate being there. Why though? You don't like dancing? I love dancing, but what they were doing, that wasn't dancing. It was getting so giddy on tea they didn't even know their own name. Tea makes you giddy? I look at my teacup, suddenly worrying if it contains anything like that. Could she have poisoned me? Or maybe it's how she planned on getting me to tell everything I know about that night. If she is the culprit, she could easily find out how close I am to catching her and Sophie. Oh no, that's just what's called. An ancient herbalist created a tea to get people to lower their inhibitions and find peace. A few years ago, a couple of third years concentrated the effect so they could use it at parties. Anyway, count yourself lucky Lyra never invited you. She was just as bad as Sophie about those things. They're just parties though, people are allowed to get a bit crazy. Regardless, I'm certain that I disagree with her about those parties being seedy. Maybe she just has a low tolerance for that kind of behavior. Lyra always went too far though. Sophie was no better. They let the attention to go to their heads and thought it was funny to use their magic to get what they wanted. If you're a big deal like Sophie and Lyra, you can even get away with murder. We have been friends forever, so I should expect it. I paled. Get away with murder? Is that literally or figuratively? Before I can figure it out, Alice continues. But on a later note, I didn't expect this from you, Sydney. Me? Expect what? That you will understand? Understand what? I tried to figure out if she meant the party we were both left out from parties. I see now. Of course you are an exceptionally pathetic person, especially since you are such good friends now. Alice glossed over my question, but it's not that important. Right, friends. I don't have to trust her for that to feel nice. Not because it's Alice saying it, but because I miss Lyra so much that any friend is better than being alone. You want more tea? You should try it with cream this time and 2 sugars. That's how I drink. Sure, it's just normal tea, right? Yep, normal black tea with a hint of something special. Alice winks, pouring out tea with a huge smile on her face. She's joking, right? As Alice crushed a rose petal in the tea and finally relaxed, I need to stop being so suspicious about everything. It takes away from the real focus. Alice, do you mind if we talk about the other night? Alice goes still, her hand pausing mid-pour just before the cream slides over the lip of the small pitcher. You mean about Lyra? Even though Alice hasn't moved a inch, the cream finally inched over the lip and splashed into the cup tea. Is it still bothering you? Of course it is. Won't it still bother if it were Sophie? It would destroy me. Alice smiles, handing me the cup. I take it, but don't expect Alice gripping onto it while still making eye contact. I pause awkwardly, my arm stretched in mid-air between us. Finally, Alice relinquishes her grip on the cup and brings my hand back. Alice still has her gaze on me. I spent so many years with Sophie. I can't imagine our friendship ending so suddenly. I would feel like the worst person in the world. It didn't happen to you or Sophie, it happened to Lyra, so what kind of person does that make me? Oh, I didn't mean it like that. I was letting my imagination run away with me. Lyra is completely different. Sophie will have said something to me if she will be in danger of losing her life. She will come to me the moment she says anything strange. Lyra didn't come to me. That doesn't make you a bad person or a bad friend. Alice doesn't need to say it. I can hear what she wants to say, but take a huge swig of iced tea as if I could gulp away the thought that Alice had planted. She's saying it makes Lyra a bad friend. That's not true though. Maybe I was a bad friend and that's why she might not have come to me. But that's assuming Lyra wasn't completely caught off guard that night. It's Lyra. If there had been danger, she must have sensed it. People like Lyra can't have been caught off guard like that. I know she wouldn't leave me alone like that without telling me, unless there was something I did that made her not tell me. She didn't leave you alone though, Sydney. You have me and Sophie. I'd rather not have Sophie. That doesn't... You have people who care about you, Sydney. Let Lyra go. I can't. When I know she didn't do that to herself, but maybe that's what people are going to think. By people, I mean Alice and what she said on that night. She did it to herself. They will think Lyra did it, or worse, they will think it's me. You think that people think she did that to herself? Well, if you say so. Alice huffs and lays back on the blanket. What are you doing? Looking at the clouds. What about Lyra? You say we could talk about it. We have talked about it. Now we have finished talking about it. Alice reaches out for a macaron and speaks through brightly colored crumbs. I don't know what you want me to say, Sydney. I didn't know Lyra very well. Then why would you say something like that about her? I just want to know. Alice shrugs, stuffing sweet treat after sweet treat into her mouth. I don't know. I should not say anything. She didn't even like me, so what to do now? Do I know? No. I can't tell if Alice really isn't lying. Their randoms makes it difficult to tell what their being truthful looks like. Lyra likes everyone, and everyone likes Lyra, but I don't know. She'll be hanging out with Sophie, and then when I show up, she will find a reason to leave. There you go. When things like that happen one too many times, you get the feeling it's not by accident. Lyra won't do that. Are you sure you were just jealous? I cringe at what I just asked in retaliation, but I can't take it back. What Lyra and Sophie had, I didn't want. That relationship wasn't good for either of them. Maybe it's all in my head, but I think maybe if Lyra didn't do that to herself, she probably should have. Alice sticks her tongue out, flecks of a purple and green on her tongue. Just kidding. That wasn't funny. That's me. I'm just full of bad jokes and sugar. You understand me, right? You know how Lyra just always looked so hungry. Alice's voice squeaks, her hands searching the empty plate for one last confection, but there is nothing but crumbs. Alice tips the plate, looking at it with disappointment. Well, I guess that's the picnic's over. She clearly tried to avoid the topic again, and very poorly at that, but since we have got this conversation going, I can still learn more. What do you mean that Lyra looked hungry? That she didn't eat enough? I pretend to go with the literal interpretation, but it rings a bell how early Alice had commented that Lyra looked at Sophie like she wanted to eat her alive. More than that, Alice swipes her hand over the plate, licking the crumbs off her fingerprints. Of course I will never wish that on anyone, but you knew her. She was your friend. You must have noticed that. Didn't she seem off to you? I didn't see her a lot, but when I did, she was always tired. Like just keeping her form was exhausting. It was weird to you too, right? Weird? It wasn't weird. Lyra was working hard. I know, I saw her and noticed that she was always working. She never seemed to stop running here, there and everywhere, with everyone and with no one, and always so tired. Didn't you think that was strange? That it was like some cry for help? She did seem tired. She took a few naps sometimes. Alice has a point. Lyra had been acting strange. She was angry and restless these last couple of months. She had a paper she was working on. I know, but it was more than that. I don't think there was anything complicated about it. She had lots of things she was working on for equally as hard. It's simple as that. Did she tell you about any of it though? Not really. It would have taken too long to explain. Sophie used that line. It usually means she's hiding Sophie. Lyra wasn't hiding anything. I thought the same thing about Sophie, but I was wrong. Smart people always have something to hide. It's the stupid ones that are too honest for their own good. Lucky for you, I'm dumb as a doorknob. No second guessing here. If you are so honest, what do you really think about Lyra as a person? Honestly, well, since we are friends, I guess I can tell you my theory. Your theory? I had a lot of time on my hands when I got lost, so I spent thinking, and here's what I came with. People like Lyra who work the way she did, they are sharks. They are so afraid to stop because otherwise they will realize they have forgotten how to breathe. Or maybe they are afraid of seeing what they have become. Or maybe they're just different from bottom feeders like you. I reflexively defend Lyra, but wince at my own viciousness. Lyra's not around to defend herself, so I'm not doing anything wrong, right? Now it's your turn. What do you honestly think about Lyra? She's great. That sort of house won't cut it. I want to know really what was she like. Sophie has such a weird way of putting things, but I think someone like you is a lot more honest. You mean too dumb to lie? Yeah, you are a regular couple of knuckleheads. I laugh, always make it easy to laugh. like a little kid that just wants everyone and everything to be filled with happiness and rainbows. I guess she was fun and exciting. She wore her heart on her sleeve and yet always kept something up it to surprise you with. Once she got angry, that terraforming professor failed me, that she sat him down for 3 hours and went through sentence by sentence with my essay should have passed. She did help me write it, after all. She always looking out for me like that. She was really special to you, wasn't she? I don't think I would still be here if it weren't for her. I was finding it difficult to adjust. This school is a lot different than being behind the wall. Lyra saw that and she knew that more than a mentor, I needed a friend. Her smile grows lackluster and her big pastel eyes drop. She yawns wildly loudly. Well, I think that really is for today. She turns away from me, clearly signaling that the conversation is over. I hear her yawning again as she clears away the picnic. I start to help her, stacking plates and emptying out half-finished teacups into the grass. What a strange tea party. I try to lift the basket, but all the crockery jumbles and clanks together in a threatening way. I put it back down. Alice laughs the first sound apart from yawning she's made since we start packing, then grabs a hold of a picnic basket. Somehow the pick balance perfect in her hands as we walk. Alice moving as silent as a dormouse. There you go. She doesn't make noise, right? She could be the killer, right? Like people think that she's dumb, right? Even she say that she's like dumb, but sometimes people that make like they are dumb, they are the real killers. You can see on Scary Movie that was like dumb, but he was the killer. A long silence passes before Alice stops in her tracks. Even then, nothing in the basket makes sense. Sydney, what is it? If Lyra were still alive, would you be here with me? You know what? I don't think so. Alice grinned solidified on her face, so far that it looks painful. I should have lied. I stumbled to put it right. I mean, we all never met if it weren't for that night. I meant, would you have wanted to be my friend? If I met you normal and I say I invite you to a picnic, would you have said yes? When she puts it that way, if that were the case, I think so. Even if Lyra wouldn't like it, I have to think about it. I wouldn't want to upset Lyra, but if Lyra were hypothetically against me being friends with Alice, she would have good reason for it. Lyra will always be right when it comes to people I should avoid. I stopped going to lecture for a while to distance myself from a particular toxic person once, and Lyra always made sure to fill me in on what I missed. She always took the best care of me, so of course I will listen, but I'm not sure if I would have hung out much if Lyra didn't like it. I get it. Even if Lyra didn't like something, I shouldn't be able to trust my own instincts too. What are my instincts telling me about Alice? I don't know the answer to that yet. I'm sorry, don't be, and thank you for sparing me the answer. Sophie was never that kind. What did she say? Why not both? That she could be friends with whoever she wants while keeping Lyra happy. What if that wasn't possible? The incredible Sophie never let what was possible stop her. She makes the impossible possible. It's her talent. So you didn't mean that Sophie was unkind because she was only saying that to flatter you, but that she could simply make it work out. Then that's good, isn't it? I would like to think so, but I wish she would have chosen, so I didn't have to choose for her. I'm not sure if I should feel sorry for Alice. Maybe she's asking too much of Sophie. On top of that, no matter how much we analyze Sophie's friendships or Lyra's, it doesn't change the fact that without Lyra, I'm alone. So why should I choose Alice? If she had nothing to do with Lyra's death, if she's as innocent as I am, then it wouldn't be a question of choosing her over Lyra, because Lyra's not here. I will have to think for myself without Lyra, and decide who I want to be friends with, and who I want to spend time with going onwards. Alice. My instinct tell me one thing. I don't really understand a lot of what's going on, but you know, I'm glad we are friends. Being with Alice is better than being alone. I don't trust yet on Alice. Like the way that she speaks, the looks of her like, Back in my room, I start to think maybe I am not cut out for this killer chasing thing. For all I know, there might not be an answer to it. Or there might not be an answer I like. If it were Alice worth Lyra, that definitely would be an answer I wouldn't like. In all my years here, I never felt like someone understood what it was like to lurk in the shadows, while those around you buff in the lights. Alice gets that, and I don't want to ruin this friendship the way I ruined the one with Lyra. But I don't want to be a bad friend to Lyra either. I still have other leads to follow. Lyra shows me because I was a good friend. She shows me, but that doesn't stop me from wondering why. It's a good feeling to be chosen, but Lyra could have been wrong about me from the beginning. Maybe Sophie was a better friend for her. I'm sorry, Lyra. I'll try, but I might not be good enough to get the bottom of this. Worst of all, I might not want to. I might just want a friend, not revenge. The next day, I'm shocked awake by a sharp flashing that pierced through my eyelids, so bright that I can only see the crisscrossing of my veins. I cringe into my pillow, fighting the disorientation of waking up to a hive mind ping. Feels like a wasp inside my head, but much as I want to shut it up, my sleepy brain can't remember how to answer it. Ugh! Breathe, Sydney. My face warms at such a vivid memory of Lyra. What you taught me, Lyra, lives on. I breathe through discomfort and open my sleep-deprived mind to dive. Of course, Miss Daniella will be the one to wake me up like this. I blink 3 times to accept the message. Miss Daniela's voice echoes inside my mind. Since you missed yet another mentoring session, please attend the following lectures to ensure you are making sufficient progress. The last of which is supposed to be 4 second-year students who are taking modules, but according to your last report, the pace should be appropriate. It will go over a lot of concepts we missed, since someone forgot to show up. A schedule invites pops up in my mind, 3 at a time. She packed my whole day with class. See to it that you attend each and every one of these, or I might have to resume your current enrollment here. I blink away the hive mind and finally rise out of my bed. That was definitely more than just a threat. Miss Daniella is filling my day with all this class for a reason. It has to be something to do with Lyra, something she doesn't want me to find out about. Sadly, I have no time to find out why. If I get kicked out, I will never find out what happened to her. Of course. Few hours later. The first lecture passed in a blur, but the seminars after that were painful. It has been a long time since I attended a seminar, and most of my classmates have matched up into friend groups. Here I am, without Lyra or a single friend. It was even more awkward when it came to discuss with a partner, because I was the odd one out. In the seminar, the lead looked at me so pityingly, it made me want to run right out of the classroom. I put on a brave devil-may-care smile and got on with my work. Who cares if I don't have friends? I had Lyra. Who else could say that? By the final lecture of the morning, I will figure out exactly where to sit in the back of lectures to avoid bringing attention to the fact I was alone. Answering a lot of questions during class helping me feel like less of a loser. Showing everyone I'm smart enough for this place will keep them from pitying me. After lunch break, I walk into the next lecture ready to put my perfect plan into action when I notice 2 familiar faces in the front row. Sophie. Why is she here anyway? Miss Daniella said that this lecture is for second years taking first year course. It sounds mean, but with Alice's reputation, her being here makes more sense. Sophie parks her bag onto the shared desk. Alice is napping already, her arms folded around her head, which fully laid on the desk. Sophie tilts Alice's chin up, sliding a notepad under her head like a pillow. Alice tears groaning as she forced to move. As I walk towards them, I make out the words they try to hide in hushed tones. Alice, the class will begin in a second. Wake up! A few more minutes. You slept through half of the last lecture. People are looking. I don't care what people think. I'm sleepy, so I'm sleeping. Rest is important. I do care. It makes you look bad. The lecturer noticed it. You are the one that wants to sit at the front. I wouldn't even be here if you didn't make me calm. No, you'll be lazing around somewhere, and in a couple of months you'll be failing your first year models again. Whatever will be, will be. Can you at least try? Sophie's voice straight, trying hard to keep her voice low through her frustration. Why? I'm not planning on being a psychokinesis major like you. Basic spells are good to know, especially for defense. It's funny, Sophie sounds like Miss Danielle when she says that. Defense, ha! How your spells didn't help you when it came to Lyra? Or did you lie to me about how she made you do all those weird things? I told you what happened. She made me choose, so you choose her and lock me away. Interesting. That phrase in there was interesting. I cringed, half regretting listening. I kept you safe, Alice. Don't shout at me. I'm not shouting. They weren't, but by the rising interest of their voice, they might as well have just started. As we file in, they walk around the pair in front of row. It's as if the students were accustomed to avoiding their drama. A student mutters Sophie about the lovers being at it again. Sophie should dump her already. Weird, it seems that people aren't surprised that Sophie is here. Alice doesn't even need to be here. Alice is cute though. I will fight all the monsters in the realm for someone that cute. Is it worth it? Wasting your time on such a lost cause? When are you going to grow up, Alice? That was a shout. Never. I'm not going to be her. Sophie glares at Alice, but their angry grimace seems to waver with each tear that slips down Alice's face. Alice! Sophie reaches out, but Alice pulls away, pushing herself to her feet before storming out the classroom. Wait for it. By the evening, they will be all lovey-dovey again. I wonder, if they are angry at each other, maybe they are angry enough to throw the other under the bus and confess to what they were really doing that night. Which one of them should I talk to? Okay, so to know what they are doing that night. So we are friends with Alice, but not with Sophie. So let's go Alice again. I decided to follow Alice and skip the lecture. I don't care about the lecture. I'm not afraid of Daniella. I slip back out of the classroom. Miss Daniella is going to be furious. I skip the class. Don't care. Sophie tells me that going to 7 out of 8 class doesn't cut it with a map like her, even if there are more important things to do, like finding Lyra's killer. A while later. Strange, how come I can't find Alice? I left the classroom right after she did. Hehehe, that's Alice's laugh. It's coming from a place that I dread, the building where I had found Lyra. I peer cautious around the corner. Isn't that Alice knitting supplies? I approach it and look around. There is no Alice to be seen. She should be nearby, though I just heard her. I pick it up when... Whoa, ouch! A teleportation. No, because she knows about void, creating void. So maybe it's that she created a hole like a void and you have to like teleportate to other place. I feel magic crack out from me. How did I end up here? Did that yarn do something to me? That spell was like when Sophie teleported. There you go. But she was the one who was spending magical energy then. Why can't this stop? Oh, Sophie's in here. Wait a minute. It's too late for you. Sophie, what's going on? You are being too noisy. What? Try as I might, I can't come up with anything to rebuke Sophie. It's clear that she knows what I was up to, following Alice. My mind is going white with all of the magic leaking out of me. Sophie calmly approached me. Help me! Sophie reached out and raised my arm. The magic doesn't stop escaping me, but now instead of dissipating into air, Sophie's channeling it into herself. I'm sorry, see, but blame Lyra, not me. Whoa, I feel myself go dark, as if I'm split. Sophie, why? She knows something. Is there something I could have done differently? You got ending the prodigy. You unlock ending screen and the prodigy. So this ending was the prodigy. So we could see that Sophie knew something. So where I save? So I'm gonna load now because we were in these to choose. So the other time I chose Alice, now we're gonna choose Sophie. I shall go against my tried and tested methods for avoiding my peers and sit beside Sophie. She doesn't look up for her meticulous setup of paper and pens, where her pens levitate off the table. I realize it isn't just vanity, but a casting arrangement. I shrink into my chair, feeling even more out of place as the class attendees recognize my first year emblem. I hear Lyra's name float to the top of gossiping. By the whispers, it can't be anything good. I don't plan to answer any questions during the lecture, finding that sitting next to Sophie has earned me too much attention as it is. Even though I really want to get information from Sophie, I don't want all this gossip about me. They could be blaming me for Lyra's disappearance. If I leave now, maybe they will all just think I'll walk into the wrong room. I shift in my seat, knowing it won't be difficult to grab my things and leave with a quick apology to lectures. Since I'm the first row, there is no hiding my exit, but it will be worth the escape from curious glance from the other students. I grip the strap of my bag, ready to put my plan into place when a hand clasps mine. Ignore them. Easy for her to say, she's used to being the talk of the town. I can't afford any gossip that connects me to Lyra's disappearance and gets me in trouble, not when Lyra is somewhere lying dead and Sophie is the most likely one to bury her so far. Please? Her fingers slip into mine, boldly inserting me. This is exactly why I want to leave, yet it's also the reason I drop my bag, pick up my pen and stay. Why? Because Sophie doesn't let go of my hand, and even by wing as hard as I can, I'm unable to break free. I write my notes with my wicker hand, messy scrawls ringing my perfect streak of beautiful crafted notes. It starts as an accident, but I keep mindlessly brushing the back of her hand where my thumb is resting. She has nice long fingers, with knuckles that are defined. She doesn't react at all, thankfully. Maybe I would have been more careful if she did. The lecture ends and the room fills with chatter. Finally, Sophie unclasps her fingers and drops my hand. Sophie pinched the bridge of her nose, blinking until her eyes dulled. She was in trance again? Why? Thought that would explain why she didn't let go of my hand. I lean over to look at her notes. Long sprawling lines of cursive overlap each other until you can barely make out a single letter. Sophie is suddenly and scrunched up the paper into her fist. Sorry, are those private? Wait, why am I apologizing? Those notes probably have something to do with Lyra, like the previous one she gave me. No, they are just messy. She looks at the crumpled paper and a faraway look makes her seem so sad. Hey, could I borrow your notes? If you took notes with your hand, you probably would have made more useful notes. These are useful, but they are not what Alice needs if she's going to pass this class. Is that why you stayed? Alice needs to pass this class, whether she wants to or not. Why would she want to? Failing again will mean expulsion. Yeah, I know that, and without Lyra I can't keep covering for her. So are you going to hand them over or not? I hand my notes over. Sophie pulls out the paper, making it stretch like dough until it breaks off into 2 copies. I tried not to look so impressed, but I didn't even hear her whisper an incantation. How can she use mine so flawlessly? Keep your mouth open like that and Sophie might fly in. I turn back to my things and pack them away, hating how obvious my esteem is for someone like Sophie. Wait, the whole point of this was to get her to talk. Maybe massaging her ego is the way to do that. I try to work up the courage to be more forward and strike a conversation. I can feel Sophie glare at me, which is helping me. I think that what you do is really best, that's all. You are an half to school, the smart half at least. Maybe you are more like them than I would thought. Can't we just accept a compliment without? I can't even tell if she was insulting me or complimenting me. I mean, it's just different hearing about how amazing you are and seeing it. Are you trying to get on my good side, Sydney? No, maybe a little, since Alice wants to be friends. I thought it would make sense to get to know you too. Is that all? Because I heard it's a lot of fun being on my good side. Maybe Lyra told you about it. What's wrong with her? Sophie laughs at my embarrassed silence and proceeds to pack away her things. That's why it's kind of cute. I stand up and block her path, trying quickly to think of a reason for her to stay, so I can get her to talk and admit what she did to Lyra. What is it now? I gave you my notes, so can you show me how to make my notes? Ha! So that's what it's about. I sure know. Sophie sits down again, leaning back in her chair with her legs crossed and arms folded. She looks disappointed. Does she actually care about what I think about her? Well, have you tried to make my notes? It will be helpful to know what I'm working with. I've tried to learn since I saw you do it, but I keep getting distracted and break the spell. I haven't gotten the hang of controlling my mind very well. I understand that. It's been tough these last few weeks. A lot has happened. You said your notes didn't come out like they should. Is that because of what happened? It doesn't help it. It used to be easy, but now it seems like I'm either overthinking everything or not comprehending the simplest things. It's confusing. Sophie wheezes. I wonder if it's another headache. I look for that throbbing in her head for the last time. I saw her in the library, but her body is turned away. Why don't you just make notes by hand? It seems like a waste of magic to do it this way, especially if it causes you that much pain. I'm still looking for my muse. Sophie chuckles dryly, and it's not an unpretty sound. My notes have gotten me over a creative die spell in the past. I'm hoping they will work this time too. Have they? You are still here, aren't you? Is she saying I'm her muse? I'm just joking. But now I get it. Lyra must have had fun teasing you. The only thing she'll have to do is make you feel special, and then suddenly you are a gullible little lamb. You are an asshole. All of that was a compliment though, and I didn't mean it. You are cute to tease. You put up with a lot, and you follow your heart rather than your head. I bet Lyra loved that about you. I'm only putting up with her for Lyra, nothing else. She knows nothing about me or Lyra. No coming back? Boring. I have a strange sense of deja vu. I'm not sure why, but I think maybe Lyra looked like this once. Bored but still here, still with me. Why did she look like that? Did I bore Lyra? I'm not boring. Oh, I didn't mean like that. Lyra said meaner things to me before, but Sophie, wide-eyed and bashful, looks honestly remorseful. Seriously, Sophie seems to choose the weirdest thing to care about. To answer your question of if my notes have helped me over my creative slump this time, yes, but also no. I'm still stuck, but there is a lot of seeds of inspiration. You can get a lot from the ramblings of an obsessive mind via mind notes. Clearing her throat, Sophie backtracks, glossing over the last conversation, reanimating a dead one. She changing the topic because this is easier for her to talk about than Lyra, I bet. Even in a world without my sweet muse Lyra, there must be a sliver of inspiration somewhere. But I was wrong. Oh, Lyra was your muse? Would Sophie get rid of something like that? Maybe I've underestimated how important Lyra was to her. Yes, but Lyra isn't a very good muse. She is more like a gun to your head. That's not a muse, but Alice, damn, she's a blank canvas. She's the most frightening thing to create her. I would prefer a bullet to the head than a blank canvas, but I chose the latter, and now I still can't create anything. I thought having a single fox, having Alice, would be better, but she isn't, and I want her to be, but she doesn't. Alice wants me to goof off and play and relax. I don't feel like me when I'm not creating Sophie. I feel that. All I feel is guilt when she's around for making her do things she doesn't like, and guilt for doing nothing, which is the only thing she likes to do. Isn't there a compromise? There is. We found new friends, but I did that and she hated it. I hated it. I don't know why Alice doesn't understand that we can try to make this work if she wants to stay friends. Lyra would have. Lyra would do anything if it meant getting what she wanted. You just had to make sure you wanted the same thing. What if you didn't? Then she will be done with you. Is that why she didn't want to be friends anymore? After I prayed a little for once, I thought friends were honest with one another, even about the worst parts of themselves. I was always honest with Lyra and she always seemed happy to listen to my moaning. But maybe Lyra didn't feel the same. Maybe she didn't want me to see everything. What kind of friend did she need? Why couldn't I be it? Anyway, I'm sorry for dumping all on that on you. We really went off topic from my notes. I was just asking for your notes, not an amateur therapy session. Maybe Alice needs the notes, but I think a therapy session is what you need. That will mean I owe you double. That's true. What else do I want? Ha! You can lock your mind from the hive mind, right? How do I do that? You sure you can handle that, Lamp? I don't know, because I never tried. It might be useful though. What you have to hide from the big bad administration? What happened to Lyra, of course. I'm lucky I'm not important enough to have direct link with the admin, but I'm scared that might do a mind audit or something. What if I reveal something about Lyra's death before? Before? Before I learn how to lock them out, of course. Okay. I hope that dial doesn't sound too fake. I almost say before I found out who killed her out loud. If I'm right, I'm the group of Sophie and there are other three I have planned to throw me under the bus. I should find out more information before the stages are involved. It will also explain why, even though that night I'm pretty sure I heard Daniella tell Upload to call the admins nothing has happening. It seems that they lied or changed their minds. If they have nothing to hide, they will really have called the admins. Right, so for locking your mind from the hive mind, you have to go into a trance first. I've never gone into trance before. Oh, you are that green. Then try a trance out first. It's a good foundation to perfect your focus, which helps you with both mind nodes and lock out of the hive mind. Sophie jots down instructions. It's a shame she doesn't use a pen more often because her handwriting is beautiful. While we are at it, you can also try astral projection if you can go into trance. It's pretty fun. Sophie continues to write, adding one more lengthy paragraph. I never heard of astral projection. Is it difficult to do? Maybe not for you. After all, Lyra chose you. That has to count for something. I'm just wondering if it's going to be beyond my death. I can't say you are wrong to be cautious. If anything, if you are lucky with your magic, you might be able to get it right faster than you do my notes. If only Alice would be cautious. I taught her so many times how to lock her mind and she refused to do it. She believes things will be okay and work out, but puts in no effort to make sure it happens, and... Sorry, I'm complaining again. I just wish she would take what happened seriously. I'm just so tired of the same bull, but I can't do what needs to be done. What do you mean? What do you need to do? I'll paint and write and study everything there is to know, but all of that feels so hard to do when she looks off into distance. Have you ever only been able to think about one thing, one person all the time? Lyra, probably? Maybe? Are you asking me about love? As in, maybe it's love when you think about someone so much? That's not what I mean, because I don't just think about one person, I think about you. No matter how they try to reorganize my mind, there never seems to be enough space for them, and it's driving them mad. What does she mean? That they are trying to reorganize their minds? If I can make sense of what Sophie said, the sound of chat busting in the hallway. The next seminar will begin soon. Sophie gathers her things and with that sight hands me her notes on entering a magical trance. Hey Sydney, don't tell Alice I say all that and thanks. I take the notes, scribbled right at the bottom in her drum number. My cheeks go red trying to imagine why she thinks I need to know that. She didn't answer my question, but I think I'm done with talking about exhausting topics for today. You are a lot nicer to talk than I thought. Then again, Lyra has good taste in people. She grins smile, and weirdly, I'm getting so used to her self-praise that I don't roll my eyes. Maybe Sophie trains people this way to get used to her whims. But maybe she's growing on me because I didn't hate to talk to her either. Maybe she isn't just an arrogant pervert. See you around, Sydney. Meet you in the astral plane. That is, if you figure it out. Interesting. Few days later. Now it's different because I got one ending that was a bad ending because we died, right? But now it's different, we are progressing more. Okay, that's good. I racked my brain in the whole walk to the study session at Alice's dorm room I had promised to go to. I've been told to show up to a study session with Alice and Sophie. Sophie also wants to tell me more about magical trance. I wonder if I had made the right decision, agreeing to meet up like this. It feels like I'm losing sight of what should be focused on. On one hand, hanging out with all the stones doesn't seem so bad after all. On the other hand, I would like to find the truth. As days go on, it feels further and further away. It's scary to think that what I find could be completely unexpected and perhaps an answer I don't want to know. Even so, making my best effort will be the right thing to do for Lyra's memory. I've got to know Sophie and Alice better, so that makes things easier when it comes to asking them more questions. And so I continue on with renewed resolve that today is the day I make at least some more progress in my investigation. When I make it to the correct floor, I hear a faint humming. Hello? As I near the room, I see Alice sitting in the hallway by the door. Sydney, you were earlier. I look down at Alice. Piles of wool are curled on her skirt. It looks like she's making a long and thin rope ladder. I thought you said 3 in the afternoon. Oh, it's 3 already? Phew, it's been that long? Alice looks at the door, but shakes her head and starts to gather her things, putting her crochet needles in her bag. Well, no point in waiting forever. Alice hurls the rest of her belongings towards the stairs, including the ladder-looking crochet project, which she hadn't put in her bag. It spalls all over the floor like spaghetti, but doesn't unravel. Wait, I thought we were going to study. Oh, we were. Then Sophie decided to go into a trance, and she kicked me out for distracting her. Or maybe that was her subconscious. Either way, we can't go in there. But it's your room. Yeah, funny that. I'm not sure if I like being locked out or being locked in more. I think they are equally bad. Maybe. Either way, don't worry about waiting around. I already made that mistake. She will be like that for a while. I need to remember this also for Lyra, not only for myself. What about studying? I don't want to fall behind. Please don't cancel. I was really looking forward to do this. I don't even have to fake how much I mean it. Well, we can... I guess Sophie trance can't last too much longer. You could come back around. 4? I don't know. Sophie needs time to adjust after a trance. They make her forget herself. And having the wrong kind of influence around can really mess her up. 6? That sounds kind of okay. Sure. Alice gives me a weird smile. She stretches out her hand and pats me on the head. Without another word, she waves goodbye. In a while, I can try to talk more to Alice or see if I can get Sophie's attention now that Alice is gone. Uh-oh. Another choice. Okay, so she seems like she's in trance and like she needs to then to put herself again. But she was saying something, so I think she's gone. She's not here anymore, so I go for Sophie. I try to ignore Alice's advice and knock on Sophie's door. There is no answer. I knock a few more times, but with the same result. Alice was right after all. No harm done, I guess. I can still meet the two of them later. I turn around and head back to my room. Back in my dorm, I try to study by myself. It becomes embarrassingly clear by the moment that I'm not exactly used to studying, and especially not by myself. I keep looking behind me, expect to see Lyra lounging on my bed and deep within the hive mind. Why did she spend so much time in there anyway? It was so full of gossip. When something useful did pop up, it was always superimposed on you, so there was no need to go lurking around for it. Lyra liked lurking, and I regret never asking why she did. I say take a break and lay down, perhaps out of nostalgia and curiosity. I try to imagine Lyra's perspective. Crossing my legs on my bed like Lyra did, like it too, I close my eyes, shutting my body off to this world and letting it seep into the hive mind. I look around Lyra's name. I have spent days after her death trying to see who knew something. It's eerie how, soon after she stopped being around, her name had completely disappeared from everyone's mind. The only trace I find is a comment of her walking around in an expensive pair of shoes. Lyra never wore expensive clothes. She liked to dress normally to understand her own importance. Whoever thought they saw her must have forgotten it wrong. I close my mind to the hive before I pull through the transient dark limb between the collector and the self. Once I open my eyes, I'll be back in my body again. The smallest spark of something brightest the darkest as an idea floats in my mind and materializes in front of me. Sophie's spell. I recall the paragraph on the notes Sophie has scribbled to me. She said that if I'm lucky, my magic could be compatible with astral projection. Do I dare to try it? Astral projection isn't even something I should have heard about in first year. The dangers of getting lost are too great, but Lyra shows me, the same way she shows Sophie. Maybe I'm capable of more than I think. So we gotta do astral projection. The world looks strange. Moving my head takes me more effort than ever, and my whole mass vibrates as if every particle stands out from the whole. I feel nausea rising in my stomach and think about cutting my loss when a familiar laugh echoes through my mind. It reverts to fill the space as if in a concert hall. Sophie swings on my desk chair, staring at me hunched over my bed, except I'm still lying down. The thinks me is looking down at my own sleeping face. The needs to throw up eats me more than ever. It's wild, right? I look dead. I think you look pretty cute. The astral you not so hot. I'm impressed though. Not many can manage so much on their first try. The fact you can even sense me is phenomenal. Why are you here? I sensed a change. I thought it might mean Lyra. I don't know why I got my hopes up like that. You have been here before to see Lyra? Lyra? No, Lyra never managed to successful astral project. I met her in the hive mind and was always spat out into this room when she was done. Sometimes I stay a little, hang around and watch her new obsess over her from the distance. I blush, my fists balling up. I keep my mouth shut to not give her the satisfaction of me admitting to anything. Mercifully, Sophie continues on, but her wry smile still gets on my skin. Everyone thought Lyra was such an accomplished student, but she had her limits. It was impossible for her to be nothing. You'll think that's good thing, that her overwhelming always-on presence could do only good and no harm, but it limited her from many other things. Perhaps it's ironic that two of her mentees are able to do it. This place is being absolute nothing, having no attachments, with no one around but yourself and your thoughts. It's peaceful here. So if Lyra couldn't astral project, she wasn't the one that taught you how. Who did then? Alice said Sophie about letting you go of everything I ever thought was important. I just tried one day and here I am, nothing. Sophie claps her hands and the world shakes violently, like the sound waves of a cymbal. It's as if her palms are racking through some sort of fiber that makes up the place. I'll hold on to bed, or try to, but my hand passes through the surface of foam and stops hard on springs. The cold metal feels even colder in this body. I look at my hand stuck half in, half out of the bed. The confusion of being in this place is draining me second by second, and my brain is too frozen to analyze the phenomena. Enough of that, let's see what you can do. I can barely stand to look at the room. What she's trying to do to me? Follow me. Sophie drags me from the bed, and my old stomach lurches forward. Before I can question where we are going, we have arrived. Feels like I will leapt over a page of a book and flip from one place to another. I tumble into Sophie's arms when the world stops shaking. I got you, lamp. As much as I don't want to throw up right this instant, sweeping chunks on her will be what she deserves. I look around, recognize the place as the forest on the edge of the grounds of the school. My body freezes as it starts to fade, uncertain of what parts of me are solid enough to stand and which should pass right through the ground. If I let her go, I cling onto Sophie. Stop resisting so much. Your magic is just taking its cut. It will be over soon and you feel right as rain. That's not as helpful as you think it is. I swallow hard, really scared of what throwing up here will feel like. Then here's some solid piece of advice. The more you make magic do, the more it takes from you. Lyra never teach you that until it's too late. Lyra will give a taste of what seems to be like unbounded magic. A student with enough ambition will be hooked on the idea of chasing and feel it again. By the time you keep pushing yourself and become exponential more powerful, you have let your magic go wild and never heard to tame it. It amazes me that way she had everything perfectly laid out, and I just played right into her hands. Sophie let me go, and I'm shocked that I can stand as Sophie as if I'm really here. Never has it been as comforting to feel my soul pressed against the ground. She bends down and digs her hands deep in the soil, the grass wilting around her as her body sulfides before my eyes. She teaches you how to take and take and take until you are her living battery. Sophie stands upright again with a glow to her that makes the air feel electric. Let's go. She yanks my hand forward and I fall, space flashing before my eyes until she stops us at our next destination. It's that Alice? Alice has fallen asleep in a nest of wool and crotched needles. She drools on her half-finished creation, staring as Sophie looms over her. The bunny awaits, but it waiting for the fox? Sophie laughs, brushing her hand over Alice's face. The blonde shivers and groans, her skin becoming clammy with sweat, growing paler by the second. It will look playful, but going off on my hand sunk halfway through my mattress earlier. I have a feeling that Sophie's fingers, astral or not, might really be passing into flesh. Stop that! Sophie looks at me, smirking, but she steps away. Peace returns to the sleeping Alice, and Sophie frowns as if displeased at Alice isn't changed back. Alice, what does she want? Upon runs towards Alice. Once she reaches Alice, she grabs Alice by the shoulder, shaking her awake. Alice's eyes spring open and she sits upright. She scans around her as if she had forgot where she fell asleep. Her gaze passes through Sophie and I before focusing on Apolline. Sophie asks here. Sophie asks her, doesn't she? Sophie asks who? Lyra. Sophie asks her, and you know where, don't you? I don't care where Lyra is, Apolline. She's dead and that's all that matters. Not when they are still using her. Tell me where she put her. Alice, I need to put an end to this. Go ahead, I won't stop you, but I won't help you either. Alice, please. No, I've done more than enough to rip her away, and if Sophie chose to keep Lyra, then she made her choice at least. She wants Lyra, I'm sick of fighting her about it. Go find her on your own. Apolline sighs deeply and lets Alice go. The two don't look the other in the eye, but have same expression of shame and defeat. Except Apolline leaves. She has an air of renewed determination while Alice simply rests her head back against her hull and closes her eyes. Sophie shakes, lifting her face to the sky, and screams. The demonic sound that emits from her mouth makes my eyes feel like they are bleeding and that my brain had split in two. Get up, get up, get up! Why the hell are you lying there? Get up! Be there! Why abandon me now? Get up, you lazy brat, get up! Alice slips through all of it. Nothing Sophie does has any effect, and with a serene smile, Alice continues to dream. We are leaving. Sophie charges towards me, walking through me, as if by her will she rips my form away from this place. I open my eyes and feel like myself again. The world around me doesn't twitch or bleed colors. It's quiet, too quiet. I clasp my hands. It feels like I am in my body again, but then I notice that the sky is too blue and the air smells of nothing. I feel normal here, mostly. This play allows that. We are where the mind is more real than the body. Aren't we in Alice Wonderland? Yes and no. You haven't figured it out yet either, huh? This is my mind, Sydney. I look around at the plains of grass and blue skies. It's not what I thought Sophie's mind would look like, but maybe this is the effect of Alice had, the real effect. For all that I know, being someone's mind is really dangerous magic. But since Sophie doing it, I don't have the instincts to bolt. It's really empty here. Although I'm a bit of a rut. When you have peace of mind, that's what happens. Everything is wonderful and clear and I hate it. That's not more alive. This is why you can't control this place so easily. You are the creator of this place. Ha! Don't underestimate how difficult all this is. It takes a lot of magic to keep things in here that shouldn't be. Like Lyra and Alice. When Lyra thought getting her expelled was the only way to make me focus on what really mattered. You can probably guess what Lyra thought mattered most, controlling all of us just because she could. Ha! Guess who stuck her here against her will now? Sophie, is Lyra here? Have you been using her? What a point said. I try not to think about it, for obvious reasons, but yes, she's here. She's as insignificant as the tiniest flea in here. Keeps her away from Alice at least. Why you'll do that to her? I thought it was poetic justice. I trapped Alice in here because of her, and now I'm trapping her in here because of Alice. Sophie digs her fingers into the grass, looking up at the sky and waits. What is she even waiting for? For Upline to find her? To find Lyra? Sophie absently picks the grass out by the roots, complete with a clump of soil. In her hand, the grass disperses into the thin air and then solidifies as if it were visualization of thought becoming reality and back again. After a few times, Sophie seems to get bored and returns the handful of grass to the ground, where it grows long and lush, swaying in the wilderness chasm as before. You did something to grass out there when we were in the campus forest. I can do a lot of things, Sydney. We are taking from it, taking its magic. You observe it to help you somehow. Is that what you are doing with Lyra? What would you do if I were? Can't you just give me a straight answer? I can answer as direct or as indirect as I want. This is my mind, remember? You are here because I'm allowing you to be here. So don't push it. You are nothing more than a figment of my imagination, and if I want you gone, you will be gone. But that means you want me here. It's only because someone should be here at least. I should at least have one friend in this world. Alice doesn't want to be here. She feels insignificant to me, to Lyra, maybe to you, if you give her enough time. She is the degenerative idiot that wafts through life, never making a mark because she's afraid to. But when she's bold enough to make a mark and take what she wants, she blames me for it. She's disgusted by her own wants, and I can't be with her like that. If you don't want Alice here, and Alice doesn't want to be here, that's another matter. I just want to know, why did you do this to Lyra? Lyra is like a gun to the head, trust me. Lyra doesn't want to be here either. She would rather be dead. But I won't let her. Only in death do I deny her wants. It's funny, right? You still haven't answered me. Why is she even here? To be amused, of course. I've been staring at her all day and nothing. No inspiration at all, but it beats staring at black canvas. I don't use her for anything else. I don't need to. Having her here is enough, or at least I had hoped it would. Why did you get rid of her like you say? What if someone... I can lock my mind, remember? No one will find her here, and soon they will forget her. This school moves on quickly from things that cause harm, and Lyra caused a lot of harm. Give it a few more weeks and no one will remember her, not even you. It suddenly clicks. That was the reason why, with all of her pretty words and long-winded explanations, it all comes down to that. Sophie doesn't want to forget Lyra either. I sit beside her, certainly not afraid of what she's done, because if I had to know doing this was possible, I would have liked to keep Lyra close to her. What drives you, Sydney? That's a big question, and random. Where did this come from? I'm just curious. It's Lyra's pattern. She unearths what you'll believe the most in, so that she can manipulate it, and finally claim for herself. That's all purpose really is. It's what people can take from us, and what we alone can give to others. So, what's your contribution? I think it's... I look at Sophie and feel a strong need to give her something, a hug or hand, anything that will make her feel better. To help others find their balance. That's what I gave to Lyra. I was there for her, and I helped drag her out of dark place and remember who she was. Did she ever do that for you? I don't think that was her purpose. Then what was? I don't know anymore. The world shifts. Slowly the grass we are sitting on is just a stretch of black empty space. All that's left is Sophie, me, and lines in the darkness that look like condensation trails in the sky. They look like they are spelling out my name in long sprawling lines of cursive. I think it's time for us to wake up, Sydney. Now we wake up. I can feel my real body, but it's as if my consciousness had been layered out of skin and flesh and bones, sinking in like a mesh into water. I inhale deeply, and then everything comes up in a tidal wave. The mixed up concoction of my lunch and stomach acid. My head throbs merciless, and I can barely keep my eyes open from the pain. None of my muscles move, seizing up when I try. It's as if rigor mortis had sat on my body in my absence. Stop resisting. I want to say soft, but not even my thoughts can spell out a sentence. I lie back and let magic in my body settle. I try to be as still as possible, only focusing on my breathing and wait out the pain. Eventually it passes. I don't get up right away. There's too much to process. I think of Sophie and how haunted she looked, how lost she was even in her own mind. My thoughts turn into dreams. Sophie is writing my name across my mind, and I get a strange feeling that maybe it's more than a dream. It should creep me out, but watching Sophie create things in her mind, paint a world and invite people into it, it's no wonder Lyra wants her around. Being with someone like Sophie means you can go beyond the limits of your own beliefs. Because she's powerful? Next morning. Sleep hasn't been the easiest thing since Lyra's death, but I thought it had been getting better. The problem now is that I can't wake up. Gah! My whole body knows that my mind is awake, but whatever is trying to wake me up just isn't clicking. Lyra! Then it does. With a hoarse breath that sounds more like a scream, my eyes shoot open and fall out of my dream. Shivering and sweating, my shirt sticks to my back. I try to shake the dream away, but it's more than just the dream disturbing my thoughts. A winkle crack stings in my ears, a sharp pain shoots down my hand. Swirls of light bounce off my skin and blow away the beads of sweat. Stop this! I never lost control of my own magic before. I only see that happen to Lyra. There were nights where she would be unable to move until her magic dissipated. She never explained why that happened, but she would always ask me to help her. She would make me lie beside her to share that pain until we were both crying. Who can I turn to talk? I feel the pain rising. I was always there for Lyra when this happened, always able to absorb the painful overflow to soothe her. What about me? Who's here for me? I greased my skull, pressing hard against it to force the magic back in. I try my hardest, but it only burns hotter and hotter until my body separates. I open my eyes to the blue sky. I feel the hollowness of a still and breathless day. I sit up and feel nothing. Somehow that's scared and the pain. At least I could recognize that my magic stack had overflowed, but I don't recognize how could I've been teleported here. I told you to get out. Where's that voice coming from? I push myself up to stand, but instantly stump back into dirt. My legs are nothing more than a wispy apparition beneath me. I look around frantically, searching for the voice for help. The next scream makes my whole body go cold. I'm afraid I will find Lyra's body. I know that voice. It's Alice. I crawl forward on my arms and see the swish of Sophie's short purple hair as the two women shout at each other with all the might in their breath. Why do you keep obsessing over her? I told you we got rid of her body. Apolline doesn't think so. She thinks you and Daniella. The earth shifts beneath me and as my body jitters in and out of existence. I have to find out what they are saying, but I don't know how long I will last like this. Or if I will at all. There is no telling what will happen if I fade away from here. I need to talk to Sophie. She's smart enough to figure out what's going on. She'll know what's going on since she created this place. Why else will you spend so much time in your trance if it weren't for her? May it's for me, may I want to be better, but you have no idea what that will look like now, do you? Stop lying. The earth shakes and Sophie grips at her skull. A terrible ring ripples through the air as the sky snaps in two. Don't do that, or do you not even care about your own safety anymore? That was you, this is your mind. And you are messing with my head, just drop it. There is no Lyra. Apolline was lying. Danielle is the one up to Sophie shady. If you want to be angry with someone, they go shout at her. You haven't done anything? But we know that she's lying. There is a pause as the world shifts to a dark and starless night. Sophie shakes her head, and in the last speck of remaining light, Alice smudges away her tears. You are such a terrible liar. It's hard to lie to someone I can't get out of my head. Sophie laughs, but clearly neither of them are comforted by the words. Alright, the truth is, I want her back. The ground snaps, separating the two, the fault line stretching out as far as the horizon and racing towards. No! Their heads whip in my direction. I scout towards the left side, but when I reach out, there is nothing. No ground, not even my own hand. Help! Sydney! I hear a splitting crack blinds me in pain as same odd feeling rises in my skin. I need help. I need... Okay. I think I'm gonna save in order because of this in here. I need help. I need... Alice. Okay, let's go fast. Alice, help me! Was that correct choice? Let me only drink. I scream, tears streaming down my face. I wake up in a room that's not my own, but a sudden relief grieves my heart and I know I'm safe, wherever this is. Come on now, you are not that much of an idiot. Throughout the pain of being in my body again, my consciousness recovers just enough to make out Sophie kneeling beside me. I'm in her room, but I don't know how and why. Her face hovers close to mine, preventing me from seeing anything beyond her. Almost there, but you got to try harder. You have to really focus, Sydney. I can't. Black spots once in my vision, growing larger. The only thing I register is a floaty sensation, and a feeling I'm close to losing consciousness again. I feel Sophie gripping my arm and shaking me. Her face is so close, I can feel that heat of her breath with each word she shouts. You haven't got a choice. Now focus. You'll have nothing to anchor your body here. Focus? Focus on what? Lyra's gone. Why didn't I just give up a long time ago? I don't have to do this anymore. But I ask Alice. I can't just disappear into nothing and it will be like I never exist. Lyra was the only one who cared about me anyway. Focus on me. I shake my head. Sophie isn't enough. I need Lyra. I miss Lyra. Things were simpler with her. A sharp pain burns the side of my neck. Ouch! Another shot of pain rips from my neck through my body. What are you doing? It's Sophie teething grinding into my neck. Sophie? My face eats and my heart drums with my chest. Sophie holds my body tight against hers. Her face buried into my neck and her teeth grip sinking deep into my skin. You are the one that didn't want to listen. Sophie pulls away, wiping her mouth on the back of her sleeve. A dark liquid smears across her sleeve and then disappears without reason. How do you feel now? Lighter. My head swims with a rage of feelings. I'm not sure what to do with any of them. Sophie smiled with his cough but void of punctual arrogance. It's a smile I've not seen very often. I think I can finally understand why so many students admire her. If you want something done right, sometimes you got to do it yourself. What you did? I'll leech some of your magic. It's a crude way to do it, but it worked. It was kind of an emergency. Emergency? Like I could have died? You would have disconnected from your body, which is worse than that, or so I have heard. But did you have to leech her magic using the same spell Lyra did? I jerked upright at the voice. While Sophie had been on top of me, I didn't even notice Alice in the room. Sophie rolls her eyes, a guilty look across her face when she catches my eyes. She shakes her head and motions for me to lie back down on the bed. The moment my head touched the pillow, I'm engulfed by the smell of her. This Sophie pillow. I spring back up to sitting position, feeling weird about lying on her pillow. Sophie's dorm is far larger than mine. It goes to show that what basically being a project can get you. Alice stands awkwardly by the door. She has a desperate look of someone who wants to leave but feels indebted to remain exactly where she is. You should call a mentor and let them resolve it. I'm not getting with you again, Alice. I did what I needed to be done. That makes a first. Alice seems to strike a nerve in Sophie, who grimaces. I would have gone with the plan if I would know what will end up happening. I never want anything like that to happen to Lyra in the first place. It's a wee splash, hearing Lyra brought up so suddenly, and I listen silently. Why do you keep on protecting her? Because there was no reason Lyra had to die like that. No reason? After everything she's done to you, to her mentee, to me, don't you care about any of it? She did do a damn thing to you, Alice. Don't flatter yourself. What you did to her is humiliation that no one ever should have to suffer. I had to. She trapped me in the Wonderland for half a year, and you let her to do it to me. I didn't let her do anything. I did it myself. I was the one who came with the idea. I started staring the life out of the room. Ever sure, Sophie stares at Alice down, and resolve couple with each other. With each second, Alice says nothing. Alice doesn't reply. Her head hangs low, and she turns in an instant, disappearing from view. The moment the door shuts, a rumbling sound breaks the silence. It is coming from Sophie. Not from her mouth, but rather from a furious vibration of magic fighting to escape her body. The rumbling isn't overly loud, but it was overwhelming in the sense that it was like an overlap of many dissonant sounds, like dry hands over paper or the shattering of glass. Sophie starts to feel her eyes glazing over as she instantly dove into a deep trance. Her body slumps against the bed, magic leaking out of her like a gurgly stream covering her skin. I grab Sophie's arm, but she doesn't even react. A strong wave of power runs through me, letting her magic do as it pleases. My skin burns and smoke rises from between my fingertips. I pull her hand closer towards me. She turns, mouth agape with a blank stare. I don't have time to feel embarrassed as I bite hard on her finger. I don't know what I'm doing, but perhaps just the shock will be enough. I bite down harder. A cheek twitch and her hand pulls away from my mouth. I feel her skin giving way off the back of my teeth as I hold on like a wild beast. Ouch! Silence. Blinking away the glow of her trance, she looks at me and shoves me harder. You couldn't think of anything else? Sophie sucks on her finger and then shakes it hard in the air as if that will ease her pain. It was cruel, but it worked, kind of looked like an emergency. I bet you think that's funny or something. A little. Sophie tries to smile, but maybe my weak attempts at humor aren't enough to gloss over what happened. I'm surprised you are still here. You helped me, so I just pay you back. Now we are even. Not even close. I have your tab memorized, and you still owe me a lot more than a sore finger. I agree. I probably still owe you a sore arm or a split lip before we are real square. Such violence? Do I really deserve it? Sophie mocking smile pulls at me, and I have to shake it before I forget the situation we are in. This isn't the time to be so familiar. You are too forgiving, Sydney. Maybe a little. Perhaps that is something that comes with being friends with Lyra for so long. I'm really good at looking the other way when it comes to those I admire. Someone like Lyra needs to be surrounded by people like that. I just hope that isn't the only reason we are friends. Though I'm starting to question that. After what I said to Alice, it doesn't paint me in the best light. Was what you say was true then? You were the one that wanted to lock her in Wonderlands. A part of me had hoped it was just an ugly lie told to her. Still, I must have known it was more than that. Sophie nods, not quite meeting my eye. I feel the bed shift as she scratched the sheets in her hand. Do you regret it? Yes. A pause. No. I didn't know what I wanted, so I was compromising. I put her in there because I was trying to fix the fact that we were growing apart, to keep her as part of my life, but not really. At the time, Lyra demanding more and more of me, and she told me to spend less time with Alice because it would be distracting. She didn't really threaten to expel Alice yet, but I panicked because I wanted to prove Lyra that I was great for her mentorship. Sophie's words come out rushed, as if she held them in her for a long time, and now there was an outlet. She couldn't stop the thoughts from escaping. I all felt indebted to her when she started letting me into her mind because how dangerous that was, indebted that she would do that for me. So I thought I need a way to increase my magic, show Lyra I am taking her mentorship seriously, but also protect Alice. Why not both? Truth be told, I was happy with what I did, until I realized that having Alice in my mind meant I couldn't think of anything else. I couldn't focus on the important things because she was in there, whistling and rambling. It was driving me insane. I started painting and writing. I couldn't even string a sentence together towards the end. I let her out, but I guess my brain wanted to punish me for it, and I still couldn't create anything. It was such a stupid idea. It was overambitious, and I learned my lesson. but I've always been too ashamed to tell Alice all of this. Better to just tell her that it was all my idea and leave it at that. You should tell Alice that. Why you just told me? You want to try your best for Lyra, but you shouldn't take all of the blame. Lyra actually thought it was a bad idea, said that a head full of stupid girls will make me stupid. But then, why did Alice think it was Lyra who did it? Did you tell her that? Well, Alice came up with an explanation herself because she was always suspicious of Lyra. When she found out about Lyra leeching mantis magic, she just assumed the worst about Lyra, so I never corrected her. But as more time went on, the harder it was to change the narrative, so I went along with it, which means I wasn't just lying by omission anymore, I was actually lying too. I let her blame everything on Lyra. Leeching, writing the books Alice doesn't like, my art blocks, and what happened to her. You could have been honest and told Alice how you felt instead. Alice doesn't take anything seriously. If I told her all this, she'll have come to the same conclusion. But Lyra was the cause of a lot of bad things. Lyra corrupted me, and Alice had to save me from it. Corrupted? She corrupts your magic limits. It makes you feel infinitely strong, but it also means there is nothing that attaches all that magic to you. She breaks your will to sustain your magic and then uses that as a reason to leech it. Which it's why your magic was acting weird. I'm surprised it taken so long to manifest. She was helping you, but she was the one that damaged you in first place. I don't... Sophie grips my right hand, holding it painfully tight as she lets her magic run through mine and engulfing it. I pressure grips every part of my body, making me seize up. Along with the pressure, I fear that I have never felt before grips me. An instinct tells me that I could die, a death worse than just a physical one, right this instant. And then the pressure lifts. You won't believe me, but she was the one who taught me this. I could rip the magic right out of your body like this because it's not attached to you. I hear a sounding click and heaviness weight on my body, one I will not felt in a long time. What did you do? I give your magic something to hold on to. It shouldn't cause you any problems now. I know that what Lyra was and what she did, and how all of that was bad. I like it though, I like her. You understand that? Liking Lyra? Yeah, even though she is not good for you. I know, not brave enough to say it out loud. Alice was no good for me either. And me, am I any better? I was asking myself that right now. I wait for something to break the moment. Even the rest of the bed as she moves involuntarily pulls my hopes up. The way her mouth twitches when she's just about to say something makes me want to speak first, just in case she isn't thinking what I am. But the month passes because this is about me, it's about everyone but me. It's about Lyra, Alice and Sophie. I'm not the best at making decisions. I am creative instinct, but common sense isn't my forte. If I were, I would have panicked. I'm not good at making choices either. Maybe that's how Lyra liked it, making all decisions for people who were happy about it. That sounds about right, except I didn't like the choice Lyra made. It's really rubbed her the wrong way when she found out I would hide Alice away. She stopped talking to me completely. But I did what I did, and I learned that I could, despite Lyra's opinion. I learned that I couldn't care less what Lyra thought. I was fine by myself. Sophie leans close, looking me deep in the eyes. Lyra will still be alive if I hadn't let Alice out. I messed up the equilibrium. I've been waiting for this. Sophie is about to spill the truth about that night, so I am so scared. Did she do it or it was Alice? I want to ask, but Sophie's face is so close I can't muster the courage to say anything. I made her intense gaze, holding it. I don't want to stop basking in her presence. I've come to enjoy it the same way I will give every ounce of sense to ignore Lyra's bad parts. I didn't realize how far Alice would take it. Sophie doesn't shy away from my gaze over the topic. Whatever happened, I can feel that she wants to tell me. The last decision is, am I ready to know? Sophie makes a decision for me. Her face eclipses mine, and my mind fails to even resist what happens. A moment later, she leans away. I don't even know if anything has happened. Before I damn myself, I'm allowed one last meal, aren't I? I nod stupidly. Sophie wipes the corner of my mouth with the pad of her thumb before standing. A telltale spark of magic dances on her hand before Sophie absorbs it. She cracks a smile and gestures towards the door. We should get going. Sophie had begun to fade. She holds her hand out to me, waiting for me to hitch a ride to wherever she wants to take me. That's best thing about Sophie that I'm starting to figure out. She can be the biggest asshole on campus, and yet I will follow her anywhere, which has been a bad habit of mine, one that had not quite died with Lyra. Maybe Sophie is better than Lyra. So she's someone that will actually bring me to new heights and not just lose me. But first I have to be sure, I have to be brave. Did you kill her? That was the plan, but that fell apart at the moment you showed up. But it's all good, we can fix things. I don't understand everything, but I know that by taking Sophie's hand, I will find my answer. Who killed Lyra? I reached out, I gripped Sophie's hand tightly. Now we're gonna discover who killed it. So we don't know time, but she will say that was the plan. What happened? I shakily stand up, pushing against the ground, and then my leg to support myself. Looking around, I get my bearings. The entire campus is encased by a 3-layer of protection spell that creates an iridescent shell that stretches miles into the sky. From the campus building, you can barely see the barrier, except when you look from high enough and notice how empty everything is for miles and miles. The sun never touches the horizon, and the forest never seems to have an edge. The further away from campus you get, lower ceiling drops, the academy's natural warning system that you go too far and should turn back until you reach the edge. The shimmering shell becomes translucent enough that you can see through it. Beyond this world is paradise of untamed magic and the abyss of monstrous possibilities. What do I remember? On the way here with Sophie, a very recalcitrant Daniella and Apolline show up, and some sort of argument between the three of them. The last thing I remember is feeling a sharp tingle, and from what I can piece together, I had fallen cautious. I must have been knocked out by one of them, or maybe even by more than one. I wasn't surprising anymore, but of course they had left me here like an unwanted toy. I need to find them. Eventually deeper into the forest, much deeper than the school allows. It seems like a logical direction to go. After all, if their business were on campus, the four wouldn't need to come into the forest in the first place. From here, the mirror surface of barrier is too obvious. The uncanny appearance of its reflectionless surface is upstaged by the corpse lying on its side against it. Lyra corpse stares back at the four women surrounding her. Her mouth hangs up, blackened with soured blood. I'm back at that night. Lyra! The helpless as I watch Sophie and Danielle take her away. Lyra! We are back to that night. Everything I only started to bury away is here. She's here, right here. The four people, four women stand in semicircle at a stalemate. Each of them eyed the others, as if waiting to pounce on and stop whoever is brave enough to step close to Lyra. It takes all of my strength, but I'm spurred to action. I push through them and stand between them and Lyra. What are you doing? Cindy, we need to get rid of her. Cindy, we can't save her. Cindy, we can use her the way she used us. Cindy, she needs to pay. I shrink back, unable to process all the words at once. They all inch forward to me and Lyra, like hungry wolves. After a few steps, the circle tightens so much that they are shoulder to shoulder. Along with the edge of protection barrier, a closer circle is formed, preventing my escape. Whoever, neither of them seem to have an upper hand for their individual skills for Lyra, and stalemate resumed. They scowl at each other, they glare a cocktail of contempt and pity. Sophie, what's going on? This is what I want to explain to you, if not for these killjoys here. Alice, is true that I hid her away in Wonderland. I'm sorry that I lied to you. I did Sophie wrong, but I regret it now. You have said that before, Sophie. Why should I believe you? Sophie, do you hear what you are saying? I hate this. I did agree to the plan. I really did. I want to show Alice I chose her instead of Lyra. But I've been wishy-washy. I regret taking part because I was heir to Lyra, that Lyra died in such a horrible way, but also because the creative block was too painful. but Sydney helped me to see how it's possible to live without Lyra. Instead, I feel a numbness spread through my limbs. It's magical in nature. I just can't place what's doing to me, to my flesh, to my limbs. Gold dust? I don't believe you, Sophie. If she's around, you'll just go back to her again. I fall to my knees. All I can register from the corner of my eye is Alice kneeling by me, her hands in the leather pouch filled with golden powder. I'm sorry, Sydney. You are really nice and it was really nice to hang out with you, but all of this crap with Lyra has gone on for too long and you shouldn't be part of it. As I start to keep my eyelids open, she sprinkles some more dust on me. The wall goes black. You got the ending Alice Elementals. You unlock the... What? Huh, now it's Alice that kills you. Interesting. What is this bonus? Achievements, developer notes. It is to show the CG scenes that you got. The background achievement. So there it is, 13 endings. So each one has a lot of endings, right? Yup, it seems like that. So there are a lot of endings for each character, depending how far you go. Because I did this show, right, that she used that teleport to kill us when we go after Alice, and now Alice kills us. But I don't have nothing for Apolline and Danielle yet. And CG scenes is that we saw for now. There's a lot. But you need to know how to unlock them. Interesting. Now we have this. I had saved this. That the other time I asked need help of Alice. So let's go for Sophie. To see what changed. Same. Focus on me, ouch. Same yet. This same too. Then she goes away, right? Yep, she goes away. She's going down and we bite the finger. This is still the same, doesn't have no change in here. She explaining what she did. Say that Lyra was taking out magic from the others, so she was always corrupting her students, right? Her mentees. This now when they explain that everybody likes Lyra, but she is not very good for the people. Try to see if something changed. Now we go for that. It's the same. So maybe it's the same who you choose, right? For woman, the same. What's going on? True that she says. Yeah, it's the same in there. So in there, whatever you choose is the same. Okay. So in there, in that safe in here, both lead to the same ending. Like Alice, she leads to the same ending. In here, the same, doesn't change nothing. In here is where I can change something. That instead of going to Sophie, I can say Alice. Like that, we don't go to the astral projection. I don't know if in the direction of Alice I went. but Alice is nowhere to be seen. She's really good at disappearing when she wants to. No, I'm done. I guess I can still reach all of them later. Head back to my room. No, it is the same now. Yup. You can do this skip. Okay, this same. Okay, both of them lead to the same. Yup. So both of these saves now that I have, right, this choice, gonna lead to the same thing. Like we knock the door for Sophie, that she doesn't respond, so we go to our bed and we do the astral projection, and then she show. We go, if you go chase Alice, it's the same thing because we don't see Alice, so we go back to our room and same thing happens. And then when we are doing this, it's same thing, like whoever you choose to help, it happens same thing. Okay, so it shows that now we need to do like something different. So we will need to do like maybe try like, okay, let's go after Apolline and Daniella, like that you will have a heading for each one, and then you need to do different things like say that Apolline and Alice, or Daniella and Sophie. So it shows, at least in here shows that there is 13 endings, shows that you have to do a lot. But how you unlock these CG scenes, right, is like there's a lot. I know only unlocked one, like not easy. The background, 2, 3, 4, 5. I missed 5 backgrounds and collection, 4 collections that I missed. Interesting. Okay. So this shows that then the game has replayability, because you need to try out like I did, like I first said Apolline and Alice, but then I went to Sophie, that led to about them, right, like about Sophie and Alice, because they are always together, right, and you discover both are bad ends, like they say on Steam page. Almost all endings are bad endings. But what I think is like maybe because it has 13 endings, so what I think is 11 endings are bad endings, 1 is good ending, and the other, the last one, is the true ending, is what I think. Because like they in Steam page say, they mostly are bad endings, so I think there is at least a good ending and a true ending is what I think. The rest is bad, that you die, right? You die. But it's like the game shows that you need to do a lot of runs to discover all 13 endings, to discover what happened. If someone killed Lyra, what was all behind Lyra, because we saw that Sophie was telling that she was corrupting everyone that was she was mentoring, right? She was corrupting everything, and then it's like, okay, Sophie discovered that she was corrupt, so she started to, like she said, that she was going to try to kill, but then she didn't kill. Like, we need to discover what she was doing more, so that's why you need to do like go try to investigate more Daniella, Apolline, then change the things, like I went to Sophie, that lead to more Alice and Sophie. Maybe if you do more Daniella, you're gonna see more about Daniella and Sophie, because Daniella knows Sophie is special. I don't know what happened if you go for Apolline, if it's more Apolline and Alice that you see, but at least the story is interesting, because you don't know who killed for now. With these 2 endings, you don't know who killed it. At first I thought, when I started playing, I thought it was Alice, because the way she smiles like that. But then you see that it wasn't her. You start to see, okay, it wasn't her, maybe it was Sophie. But it's like you are expect that she confessed, but then she says that she was to kill Lyra, but she didn't kill So it's like, who killed her? Why did Lyra kill herself because they start to confront her? Who knows, right? Who knows? But it's like, okay, it shows here the two of 13. But one thing that I will change too is to know it, because like, is this the bad ending? Is these two bad endings? I think so, because we die, right? And we don't discover who killed Lyra. Okay, but I think they should put in here, say bad ending, is what I would say to change in here to say bad ending. I don't know is what is this shoe, because there is shoe yet here to lock. What can it be? Music? No, maybe not, because we can hear music, right? So what can it be, right? What can it be? But I think they should put in here on the side, say like it's bad ending, right? Like that the player knows, oh, okay, it was a bad ending, because one of them could be like good ending, not the true ending, but it was a good ending because you knew what the fight. Like, let's say in here it could be a good ending because you know what Lyra was doing, but at the same time you die because you fell to a magic that Lyra looked down on. See, it's like you fell to a magic that Lyra looked down on. Could this be a good ending, but not true ending? Right? And your magic was siphoned by Sophie, that she took out our magic and we died. So, in here it doesn't show that we died. You fell to a magic that Lyra looked down on. Who knows? But it's interesting. The story is very good to discover. You start to see that, okay, Sophie is like a special student, but she always with Alice. She doesn't want Alice to go to be like, she likes Alice because she wants Alice to be a muse, but she can't see that she's a muse for her because she's still thinking of Lyra at the same time. Of course, you need to discover what these should do because you need to select them. But overall, good game because, like I said, visual novels. They, like I always say, they need to have a good story, good artwork, and in terms of longevity, always between 2 to 4 hours. Like that, it let the player to do more runs. Yes, you can say, oh, but you didn't do another run. You save, right, and you choose. Yes, but that's one thing too that's good for visual novels, that you can save and you do the run, right, and oops, I died or I got an ending, and then I can load and try out other choice, and like that I can see other ending. Of course, in here now I need to do another run to go for Danielle and Apolline to see what will happen, right, to see maybe other 2 endings. Then you need to mix up things. That's what then start to change. But at least I could see the 2 endings in here, only to show that it's not gonna be easy to discover what really happened and who killed Lyra. If someone killed Lyra, right? She could kill herself, right? Could be like that. But overall, a good game because, like I say, visual novels nowadays you can see they are improving always. Like in terms of art style, very good. Like the design, of course you can say, oh, but the design, like when you were talking, weren't very good, weren't like perfect. But when I'm talking about this, because you can see that the art style very good indeed. Because this is where they put the effort to do, like in there, and at the same time you could see the backgrounds. The backgrounds are in here, like you can see, the backgrounds were very well made. You can see the design, very good. Well, you can see image 3 of 3 lockets. Oh, each one has 3. So we have this, we saw at night. Each one has 3 of each. Whoa, how much I discovered in here? Nothing. There is only 1. Okay, only 1. So there is certain place that has different cycles. So in here it shows that it was morning. Well, let's say I have the night. Then when the Lyra was dead, we found dead, and then there is other. Okay, that's interesting too. That shows that you need to find at the same time. Two of two that I need to find. In here, two of two. There is another that we need to find. This room, nothing, of course. It will be a surprise. It won't be surprise. There is another. Whoa, one of two. I missed the first one. Huh? This is our room, so we will not have nothing. Yep. That is the morning, afternoon, and night. That was easy to understand. There is another. Whoa, okay, this will be another because it's like Daniella, so I didn't do a Daniella, so of course it will have other. This is the corridor. There's another, maybe it's at night. This on the Wonderland. We have the night, so we have everything. And this in the forests. That's only one. But you see there is a lot of things that you need to unlock. And what is this show? Who knows? But overall a good game. Because like I say, visual novels, if they put good artwork, good story, in terms of longevity between 2 to 4 hours, like that people can repeat and even save and then repeat to get other ending, and at the same time show the endings, right, to see the endings that you got for each character. That's always good, like that you know what you did. Like I said, if they do this, the game is always good. So like if you are a fan of visual novels, you can buy it already on Steam. You search Death Becomes You and it will appear mystery visual novel, and you can buy it in there. If you are not a big fan of visual novel, I'll say give it a try, because you're gonna be interested in the story, and it's like you want always to know more and more and more and more to know who killed it. So I'll say give it a try, because you're gonna see that's worth. So hope you guys enjoy here the playthrough of Death Becomes You, a mystery visual novel. And again, if you want, you can buy it on Steam. So hope you guys enjoyed, and see you guys next time.